wants it because I have 4 pages of journal.
Pay
My
it in the
notes
bank.
weren't super great, so I'm gonna pass.
All right, last chance, everybody. Cool.
All yours.
We made it into the chapel. We let Oro leave, which I actually think was 2 sessions ago, but
Mhm.
regardless, there was an elf priest to Denier. We offered to take Zach Nathan off their hands, but to cross the room, we each had to give them a secret, which for the most part we did, only to at the end watch Mac walk up and whisper their secret. At which point we all, well, everyone who gave up secrets, not everybody, but some people who gave up secrets felt a little silly. I could go
So
over
funny.
everybody's secrets, but I don't think we need to do that. We got some holy water, and most importantly, a large raised dead diamond from the priest, which was super nice of them.
I got
And
a special cloak.
found our way into a library. Books heading downward into a giant pit with an orangutan picking through the
Oh,
remains of a
yeah.
grandfather clock. I love my note here. Not even the weirdest thing we've seen _ today. The orangutan's name is Dr. Restwell, says Zach Nathan came through, gave him a pair of magical scissors for the key. Oz traded a shield, which either the scissors were not that great, the shield is special, or the shield was special to Oz. Probably the last one. That's it. Just waiting on Hyacinth to look at the books. Can none of these idiots focus? these are my character notes, everybody. Sorry. I don't have it in my notes, but I do remember that because Torek didn't actually notice it, but while down there, like one of the librarians accosted Hyacinth and removed the memory of learning to blade sing, which is
Yeah.
a little messed up.
Yeah.
Specifically learning about like what Blade Song what like
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, like I was not a blade singer, but
Yeah.
just knowledge of it. But also, I don't know if like Hyacinth ever mentioned it to everyone. But like the face of that creature was Oro's
Oro.
face.
Yeah.
And so yeah, it was something.
Yeah, let's not grapple with that.
Hyacinth did not.
Yeah.
But yeah. We made our way into a planetarium where there were more dead drow and hobgoblins. Didn't have the mark of Zach Naven's crew, but they were all from Shipkurth. Oz is stealing books. Fucking fantastic. Oh no, this actually says fucking fanatic. That's supposed to say fucking fantastic, but I stand by my words.
Happy accidents.
The ghost keeper of the planetarium did not had become more solid and stronger because of Oz aging in the botanical garden, and was willing to let us pass. Hyacinth traded 6 years of it of their life for. I'm sorry, is Hyacinth they or she?
They.
Okay, I will have to correct one of my other notes. I think I said she at some point. I apologize. Let me fix that.
No worries. It's one of those things where they really don't care.
Okay. Traded 6 years, got a chest, trapped. This where is it? Here we go. Got a chest, trapped. Haza called it. Maybe she's got potential after all. The door in the next room had a weird gem lock. The gems all had to be pulled out. Once again, the rainbow flashed through my mind. Happy Pride, everyone.
We found out the clue by me just asking someone.
Just talking to one of the students who was like, "Do you really need a key?"
Yeah.
Because
Also, please tell me Happy Pride is in your notes.
In your ink
well,
here.
give me 2 seconds here. I have a large blank spot here. We'll just turn that and say.
Everyone will be seated while Ted updates his notes.
Also, Cody, it's gonna take me a while to know that you're talking.
Okay,
Yeah.
Sounds a lot
sure.
like in our Thursday campaign, he sounds a lot like
Oh,
another
God.
player, so it's really hard.
That's good. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Oh my god, I'm tearing up.
Get my other fucking headset back out.
No, this is
We
genuinely
like
much
this
better.
one.
I wanna go back.
It's good.
Never go back, Cody. You can never go back. Found our way to Mulgrim. Zach Nathan came down, had the heart, says Muldrin gave her heart to something she loved, who gave it away, and that is why she is trapped here. He could not tell us if she chose to become a Dracolic or not. He was going to let her speak before there was a fight. Hazen knocked the heart out of his hand. The heart and box were picked up by Hyacinth, who got threatened by me. I'm not defending myself here on that one. Zach Nathan got heart got back in the box. There was a brief discussion on what to do with it. Oz and Torek went around to the front and found a note under the heart, which was written to a Sylvia. Skip all that. Seeing the heart up close, not sure it's Muldrim, very small. Touched it and got feelings of sadness. There was a note in the box from Sylvia, who it was signed to my dearest treasure from M, from Muldrim. Actually, I think it was Muldrim's full name. Speaking to as much as possible Muldrim through the heart, which was more feelings and emotions than words. Which was entirely feelings and emotions than words. Muldrim was in a certain amount of confusion, but there was also a lot of anger, rage, and a desire to be free. If I had to guess, if I had to guess altogether. And then there was discussion on who or what to do with, or who to take the heart to, or what to do with it. We finally settled on, let's figure this shit out, not standing around in the tower. And then left. Then there was a brief message from Hyacinth to Torek, and that's where we wrapped up.
Yeah. Okay.
And there's the page I need to fix.
So you have retrieved your rowboat from the little island of the host tower, and have begun rowing in, I believe I said, the dead of night. Not really a concept of what day or time
Yeah.
it could be.
Oh no. Don't tell us that there's gonna be like a time travel where like we accidentally spent like 40
I will
years in
remind
there.
you that Oro thought it was 1492, and it is like 1790.
It was
something.
probably like a week.
It was-
Relax.
Hey, if it could actually have been 11 years, that would work out pretty great for Oz.
Yeah.
Ooh.
That would be a really, really crazy way to kick off chapter 3 of this game, huh? Just absolutely send you off after all your family's been killed or has died of old age. That would be crazy of me. I would never.
Max, you should stop talking because I'm getting very worried. I know you're joking, but there's a little part in my head that doesn't know you're joking, and I can't take it.
Yeah, like if you told
For
us that it was
now.
suddenly like 300 years later, I wouldn't believe you, but that would be very interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
because
put this
I
game
feel
in the
like
future from the last game only to bump it another 300
More
years.
future.
Well, hey, I mean that would at least solve one definite question that I had.
Gonna buy a
It would mean this
purchase
picture-
match.
Since to
maybe
be
this
clear,
picture
I
was-
still don't know the answer to that.
I feel like land vehicles probably covers mechs, right? With tank.
Uh, you can begin rowing to the shore and can look up with some relief to see that the sun or nope, the moon is at least in the same general phase that you had left it in. Um, ooh, it could be a month later.
That's what I'm
Ooh.
So basically, any increment of a month.
Mhm.
So it's still
um,
300 years, just in months.
Same month.
300 lunar years.
okay. You can make it to a pier, and are greeted by the same wharf master who set you off in the first place. So at least that guy's still alive, and healthy. Um, I'll stop now. What do you do once you get to shore?
I guess
Check it.
addressing him. So how long were we gone?
Right. Okay. What sort of job do you think that I have?
I mean, we seem fairly distinctive as far as it goes.
He spits. Where'd you come from?
Where did you go?
I sort of lean over to Hazen and say, yeah, I think that's classified. Right?
I mean, probably.
Here's a thought. Go back to the inn. Your inn, where they don't know the rest of us are. The bartender likes you, or the innkeeper, whatever.
Yes.
Ask someone who gives a shit. This guy doesn't.
Great.
Good plan.
You also guys sailed through the dark to the
Yeah.
pier. You guys are just dudes on a boat. He does take the vessel back though. That was a rental.
Rental.
How much do we owe? Like a day's worth?
This was actually taken by the BMMM. So
Yeah, it fucking better have been.
Yeah, this is comped.
Also, who gets custody of the heart while we figure this shit out?
Okay, well,
Wherever it goes, I go.
who wants it the least?
Me.
Yeah,
Wait, did I
that's-
just volunteer?
You might have.
Yeah, I think you did.
Damn it.
You know, that was bound to happen.
I mean, in case we care, it's a holy relic, as I am, in fact, a priest of the dragon gods. But, that's fine. Nobody gives a shit.
Okay, that's a decent point. You
Sure,
are
and
incentivized
since
to care for it.
when were we bringing gods into the custody of it? I suppose everyone's just going to ignore
I mean,
the.
when
no,
you
it's-
insisted it had to be destroyed because of Jerkle.
It might be
So,
more of a
don't play
cultural
the card with
thing.
me, Mel. We can both play that card. Is the problem?
Okay, Inks, can you give it? It's more of a cultural artifact, I think.
Mhm.
That's a question.
Yeah, just give it to.
I
Not
would
gonna
also
run
like-
off with it. I'm not gonna. I got my job here. He looks at Mel. Everything's hunky dory.
Fine.
While this conversation is taking place, I will turn to the additional person that was on the boat with us. Mekvik,
Oh, yeah.
do you have a place to stay this evening?
now that you mention it, no, no,
Okay, yeah,
I've
you.
been, yeah.
That's fine. He can stay with me.
I mean, you could share my room. It's fine.
Would you be comfortable with that?
I think so. I haven't really had company or anyone around for longer than 20 minutes at a time usually, so it'd be a new comparatively, but fine.
Oh, we'll do the best we can to make you comfortable, and I can vouch for the fact that you'll be safe staying with us. Certainly safer than you were in that tower.
I do appreciate that. Where are we actually?
Welcome to the
Well-
grand city of Luskin. Try not
So
to be
y-
overwhelmed.
You're meaning to tell me that you didn't enter from Luskin?
Oh, no, no, no. I found a teleporting vessel that brought me to the tower.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
So where are you from then?
Oh, well, you said Luskin, right?
Yeah.
I guess that north, I think. Well, I mean that's where I was living before. I I had family in Waterdeep.
Why do you say had?
Well, you mentioned that there was
Yeah.
some time distortion. And I'm only just grasping that I may have been there longer than I
What
maybe thought I had.
What was the last year you remember?
Um, that would have been uh 1648.
I don't remember what the current year is.
I don't think
In
he'll
the
like the answer.
1790s.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
Yeah, you might have been in there a little bit longer than you thought.
Uh, I mean that maybe that's not fine. Um,
it
it
doesn't have
might
to
be
be
fine.
fine. Yeah, it can be bad.
No, I mean I went to the tower to do research for something very specific and I mean technically time sensitive. But I guess that doesn't really matter now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, are you gonna go back there or?
Maybe. That might be useful. Maybe someone hasn't gotten what I got. And he pats his notebook.
Hey, we're gonna have to figure out how much it's gonna cost for you. You don't have any gold, do you?
God, no, are you fucking
Yeah.
kidding me? So where are you going?
To an inn.
Get a drink.
Yeah,
Look like you
amongst
could
other
use
things.
one.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Also, new patron. Very good.
I'm sorry. Let's pack up. Actually, no, we can answer this over drinks. Let's go. It's wet.
You wander through the dark and still active streets of Luskin as a city that is predominantly populated by drow. The span of a day is significantly longer of like with activity, particularly again with like as many folks as prefer to see at night anyway. Uh it is not peaceful as you travel through the market um, uh, to Daleth's Corner, which is got a few people here in the tap room, but you're still waved over, or waved at by Casper.
Hey, when was the last time you saw us?
Yes, yesterday.
Okay, good.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah.
I'm missing something.
I don't know, some time weirdness. Speaking of, we have a new friend here who could use some stiff drinks.
There's a very obvious skeptical up and down given to Mac. And then he retrieves beverages for you all. Warm cider, because it's cold as hell outside.
Evs.
A lot of new faces here.
I mean, that happens.
Does it? A lot of new faces. That's why you're advertising.
I mean, okay, point taken.
I do resent the remark that I can't drum up my own business, but
I mean, you're giving this one a room for advertising, right? Did I misunderstand the arrangement as it was described to me?
I'm giving this one a room so she doesn't freeze to death on the streets.
That's nice.
I guess it's the first time you've ever said that out loud. It's occurring to me.
Yeah,
But
well,
I kind of
maybe I'm not as mean as I sound.
Yeah, I mean, I know that.
And in a way, I mean that is still them drumming up business by extorting Heza to do it for them.
I would hardly call it extortion, but
It's not
No, you're
extortion.
right.
It's honor, I guess.
You can
honor.
call it what you want. I have one room that doesn't need to be cleaned every day because the tenant takes care of it,
Yeah.
and advertising. So
Oh, I'm gonna need a
That's a
bucket
good deal.
and some water and
A
a mop.
bucket.
Bucket.
Oh,
Yeah, I was in
okay.
the sewer.
Ugh.
I cleaned off
Oh,
everything but
you-
my boots,
Do
and
you
that
need
was
a
a mistake.
bath or
No, actually, hang on. I could do this with magic. Never mind. We're good.
thank God?
There's just one bit I missed.
That's what that smell was.
Rude but fair.
All right, you're crowding the bar. Get out of here.
Yeah.
Okay, well one day he wants plenty of people here, but now he doesn't want plenty of people here.
I mean, it's just a bar, right? If we crowd the bar, then nobody can.
oh,
the
yeah,
bar.
you're right. Yeah, I
Yeah.
didn't think about that.
We just gotta stay out of his well.
Did you guys take a table or go up to Hayes's room?
There's not enough room in my room for everyone, so we're gonna need to get a table. I can fit maybe like 3 of you in there, and that's
You
only
know-
like single file.
I know I suggested coming here, but it is now occurring to me that the rooms at One-Eyed Jack's are a lot bigger. If we want to, no, in public. Don't look at me like that, all of you. Fine,
mean-
sit at the damn table.
Alright. This is just my face. That's a good idea.
Yeah, I didn't mean it. It's fine. It's fine.
So you're taking a table.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, a back table, away from anyone.
What would you like to discuss? Discuss.
As we sit down, I will change myself to basically just look like an exact copy, but a drow. Like as she does, she's like, okay, this one's
What
fairly
the
low effort. I
hell?
admit it.
This is the first time that I believe they
Yeah.
are seeing you shapeshift.
Yeah, you did that when
Uh-huh.
just the other locals were around.
Yeah?
And me. I remember she changed into
Questions?
me.
Comments, concerns?
Nope, seems normal to
Button
me.
just dropped
No
now.
more than I originally had.
Fair enough. This is something I can do. I'd prefer not to do people that are, I guess, like people. Amalgamations, great. Mismatches, great. It's kind of weird to take on somebody's face and voice at the same time and be them.
You did that
Kinda
the other day with me.
not with your voice.
That's
And it was
fair.
only for a second.
It was.
Right.
So really
so
weird.
lesson
I
learned.
get you.
You're not. You're not. I assumed you were human. That's on me.
Yeah, not a human.
Thumbs up.
Thumbs up back.
So, have we decided what we're gonna do with that person's heart?
Well, I feel like it was discussed that we were each going to reach out some feelers into our respective organizations and see what we can come up with. Because this is a pretty big problem, and none of us individually have the resources to do it, and it is kind of a hot item to hold on to.
I mean, do you want to use the paper birds?
I mean, I guess, yeah, I should send something before I head in, but yeah. It would be better to talk about this in person instead of correspondence through birds. Plus, everything's within the city. Actually. And she'll get out one of the paper things and go ahead and start writing a message down.
Sorry, say that again.
She just remembered something and is gonna start writing a message.
Okay. All right. Who are you all reaching out to?
Physically reach out to the heart. No, I'm kidding.
You could do that again. I'm sure it'll be okay.
Well, I think we decided that multiple organizations would be able to handle this problem. It was just a
Potentially.
matter of
Potentially.
taking it to someone who wasn't the B and then a bunch of M's.
Well, yes, it's just they seem to be the more like have the most resources, but seem to be the
Yeah.
one that we least want to collectively bring it to.
I mean,
Because I'm in agreement
besides
there.
the resources thing, if the question is who can destroy it quickly, and the answer is them, then
But I mean, the Tower Breakers, they seem like they could take care of it. That's their whole shtick, right?
true. That
I
would
think
just
that should be the first person we go to.
I mean,
Quick, easy, we've
The-
got a connection.
Go ahead.
and just a point of order, I don't think the question is who can destroy it quickly. I think the question is who will destroy it quickly. I have no
Right.
doubt that the BMMM can destroy it, but the question is, will they, or will they hold on to it with hopes of maintaining
it later.
control? Yes, for some later date. That I don't know, but I can certainly reach out to Kran at the Tower Breakers and
Is
see
that
what.
something you need to do tomorrow, or it is pretty late?
Well, I am quite tired, so I can go tonight. and crash there, or I can go first thing in the morning, whichever everyone is most comfortable with.
Yeah, and unfortunately, the thing that ends up being a sticking point for me is that the Tower Breakers are not necessarily impartial themselves. I have my worries that they might keep it. Despite your vouching for them, I don't want to leave anything up to chance.
I think the first point of question should just be, can they?
Fair. If we choose the Tower Breakers, we do have to consider
I-
the fact that
I don't even mean just the Tower Breakers. I mean the
Anyway,
various
yeah.
groups.
Well,
And
if they
I
can't,
don't
then
even
it's not
think
an
we should
option.
mention what we have specifically. Do you have the resources and the power to destroy a phylactery?
yeah, that's
It's a simple yes or no question. It's hard to create wiggle room. If the answer is no, then we know that that's not even a thing we need to think about anymore. Narrow down the options, as it were.
I think we let's all get some rest, and we can set up a watch maybe. That way, if we're worried about someone trying to steal it or anything. And then tomorrow we can just start working down a line. We can head to the Tower Breakers and pose our question without implying anything. And if they can't, we move on to the next. I trust Oz whenever he says that they will destroy it.
Right. I mean, the only thing to keep in mind is that these are two political organizations who want to take power from each other. And whether or not Oz would use it or knows people who would use something like this or destroy it, that's one matter.
Mhm.
The BMMM could also be fine at
Yeah.
disposing of this thing too. However, the possibility that somebody would use it for, say, malicious purposes to overthrow the other, that's not a possibility that I am particularly comfortable with. Not necessarily for the
Yeah.
malicious purposes. That just
Well,
means more paperwork for me later.
That
What I
doesn't
mean
really
is,
seem like the modus operandi for either of these groups. The BMMM is wants to be a governing body, and they are. That's like just a true fact. And the Tower Breakers are a resistance group, and
but
I mean,
if
a
you think
resistance
about
group
it,
could be horrible terrorists that want to cause major harm and catastrophe, but that sounds not at all like their desire for either of these groups. I
Look,
think either of these groups would be perfectly fine for us to take it to.
well,
at
again,
the
just
end,
given the nature of how powerful this could be, I don't think I'm going to be comfortable putting that out of the way of the BMMM will use this to gain more control and put the Tower Breakers in the ground, perhaps, or the Tower Breakers going and seizing power from the BMMM using this. Because it is powerful. At least to,
I
people
don't
who
think
don't
it's a
have.
matter of either of them seizing power from the other. Like that doesn't really like
It's a matter
neither
of
of them are in
opportunity.
power.
I
At-
would argue
People are
that
greedy.
at the
Oz,
end of the
what
day,
do you?
at the end of the day, who destroys it doesn't make any difference.
Exactly.
true.
Mel, are you saying that you'd be comfortable so long as we contacted your clerics first?
Oh, well, I thought that was the idea, is have everyone contact their organization, see if it is possible through them, and then narrow down our options there, if they are options. I feel like the clerics of Yurgle are the safest because they have no vested interest in taking the power that is represented by this artifact. However, if it comes to between the BMMM and the Tower Breakers, I would choose the Tower Breakers, obviously.
So, the only point I will bring up here, because you brought politics into the discussion, is that, yeah, I have no love for the BMMM either, but giving it to somebody that isn't them, they're probably going to know we did it, and that is going to really put us on their shit list.
It won't
Doesn't mean
if
it's
it's
not worth doing,
destroyed
but
because that's what they wanted it
Yeah.
us to get it for in the first place. Let's
Yeah.
worry about all of that tomorrow. For
Mhm.
now,
Well, as soon as optics come into the mix, again, if it's destroyed by the Tower Breakers versus the Clerics of Urgol, one, they would see us as betrayers who gave a powerful artifact to their mortal political enemies.
we
The
didn't
other
give
one,
it
they would.
to anyone. It's been destroyed. That's
Yeah, like
that's the
we
difference.
we'll just have to present it in a way that is favorable.
it would be
All
nice
right.
to
We don't lie
witness
to
it being
anyone. We just
destroyed.
say
Did
we took
did-
it to get it destroyed immediately.
did the BMMM want it destroyed? Or
I don't
did they
think
want
they
to
said
control
According
it?
to the High Arcanist.
Yeah.
No, according to the High Arcanist, they wanted it destroyed.
hmm
Now, for anyone who wants to assist in keeping an eye on this thing, I'm not staying here. I understand there is a nice subterranean lair formerly occupied, now cleared by some well-meaning but rascally group of young adventurers. One that is in a place that pretty much all of the big names of this city were unable to find. That seems like a safe place to me. I will get up
Alright.
and I will
Except,
start walking.
My
Torek,
Gorgons are down
Yeah.
there.
Torek, hold
Torek.
on. This is something I wanted to bring up too. Go ahead. First, you. Go ahead.
except that we left very large, very live creatures down there that we sealed
Additionally,
behind a
we
stone
did-
door.
Yep.
Bring guards there. Remember for cleanup,
And now it's clean.
No, Torek, you don't understand. The guards know of it. And the
Mhm.
thing we're carrying around is very illegal. Like,
Yeah,
very
but who
illegal.
would ever go back there?
The guards that don't want
Gorgons.
monsters in the
What's our other
sewer.
option? Sit in this inn?
Yes.
This suddenly
Mhm.
full, shitty little
We-
inn?
Hey.
No.
Could just head back instead of all the way into the sewers. There's that nice, simple little house that was being vacated that we can just hole up in, do a little squatting.
Yeah, squatting.
Oh, Christ.
Defensible.
Whoever
We
that
have a
is.
Bad
hidden
option.
exit that we can flee through if we need to.
As long as we bar it. Because of, the Gorgons that are
Yes.
down there still.
Right.
Yeah, that
The
just leads
Gorgons.
me back to where we were the first time. Like,
Torek,
where I wanted to go the first time I met. Or we...
Torek,
Yo,
would you be more comfortable at One-Eyed Jack's?
another high profile... Well, that one's high profile. A high profile
Does-
inn where we're sure to be noticed. No, I would rather be somewhere not public is my whole thinking.
Okay. Does
Torek,
anyone
nobody
here
knows
who lives
we
here
recovered
have a domicile that is owned by them?
I'm not going back to my father until I
Yeah.
I'm
whether
not
or not
taking
this
this
situation
and
is
putting
permanent.
someone else's family in jeopardy.
Right. No, I was asking if anyone had like their own place, their own by themselves place. It sounds like that answer is a no.
My room is. Yeah.
Inks, do you have a house here?
I was actually just about to chime in.
Okay, sorry. You
No,
said
you're good, you're good,
something.
Yeah. Inks slowly puts a hand in the air. But it's not my place.
Are there people there besides you?
Yes.
Anyone we bring this around is in jeopardy. That's why I wanted to take it underground.
Then absolutely not.
Yeah, I mean, I
I
guess
appreciate the thought, though.
either squatting in that house where we can escape underground, or just fully going underground.
I feel like we
I'm-
start with the house.
right, and then we have an escape if we need it, and we can bar both and watch.
Or we go into the house, bar the house, and then go underground anyway.
There's Gorgons down there. Is like
We
two
can
of
just
them at
we
least.
can camp out in the cellar where Wait a minute. I am getting campaigns mixed up.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think you're confusing this with Dragon Heist. That's why, because
Yeah,
I
that's what
don't
it sounds
remember
like.
another house.
I fully am. I was about to say we can camp out in that cellar where Oni's character ate a potato, and that's what like caught me that I was getting the two mixed up. Sorry, they're
Oh, yeah,
high-profile
Yeah.
cities and a sewer system.
yeah.
Yeah,
No, I got you. I went along with it because I was like, that sounds familiar, but
Yes, and
I was starting to lose my mind. I was like, what house are you guys
Sorry.
talking
Yeah,
about?
sorry.
Look, I just assumed I forgot.
See, that was the part that really fucked me up because I thought it might have been but then Cody was in it.
No, I just assumed. I was like, "Yep, well, I missed that part. That was a while ago."
okay. You know, if we're
Well-
worried about the thing sealed behind the stone door, we'll camp in the room where the Duke was. How about that? That's far away from that door.
The pile of bones.
Oh,
What?
Yeah, the Duke and his.
Oh yeah,
pile
I
of-
mean he's definitely dead by now. But what? You never camped around a body before?
No, I don't really. It. Also, Gorgons.
Or on the
Yeah,
other
I keep-
side?
Yeah, what do you mean on the other side?
We didn't run into the Gorgons when we were in the,
Yeah, that's
the Rat
because-
King's lair.
They had been driven out by the Rat King.
Yeah.
I also remember that other thing. I know that Oz made a wall, but it is still in that pit that is very much exposed.
That's why I said we go to where the giant toad was, the Duke. It's far away from that room. It's defensible. There's the sewer outlet where the mirror was hanging. If we need to run, it's got
Torek,
everything.
It is not far away. It's through the same drainage pipe. If you keep going down instead of going left
Yeah, it's
out,
not right next to
instead
it.
of
That's
right.
the important thing.
If
Doesn't
it
have
has
to break through a stone
it's-
wall. Like,
no, it
come on.
doesn't because it's that drainage tunnel. Spoiler alert: is open to that pit.
What? No, we're talking about different drainage.
No,
tunnels. There was a
no, we
mirror
aren't.
hanging. Yeah, we are.
Yeah,
we actually
that is
are.
at the farthest wall. If you went down the other
No,
way,
no,
the
no,
way
no.
I got dragged by that big thing with
I'm literally
tentacles,
talking about the drainage tunnel directly next to the Duke's room.
yes,
like,
that's the
Yeah,
one.
Directly.
Different one.
Oh, wait, no, that one was one up. Right. Okay. Okay.
The point is, there's got to
fine.
be somewhere safe underground, away from everybody's families here, because I know that that's important to some of you here.
Can we not just be inconspicuous, just in plain sight? I mean, nobody knows we have the thing.
Are there other people in this dining room?
Oh,
Yes, lots.
Remember, I have made a comment about it being suddenly very packed in here.
Mm-hmm.
There are people here. It's a nighttime at a tap room where people like to be out at night. So
Well,
I
listen.
feel like you're being a little
Alright.
paranoid.
If
Uh,
if you
Given what
absolutely
we're
need if you absolutely need to take this underground, by all means, go take it into the source. A, I think it's a bad idea. B, I won't be going with you because I won't be asking Makvik to spend his first night out of the tower underground, and I've already sworn to keep him safe this evening.
thank you.
So it's not.
I
It's
mean,
not
away
just
from the
this.
heart is as safe as it gets. So,
Very well.
And if you bring it to a place that is known by the guard and through the streets, the more time we spend out on the streets with this thing, the more time we have to get searched. It sure isn't registered, and if we have it in our possession, we're going in jail.
that's why I want to go underground so that they don't
That is why
search.
we just don't leave here, because do you see guards checking every room? Do you see guards accosting people in this bar? It's a tavern.
Yeah, I've never seen a guard.
Do I think that there are people here who will sell us out in a second because we've been talking about having a very powerful magic item? I absolutely do.
Well, that's
If
why
you
we don't
don't-
say anything.
We already have. In fact, I've made a big deal out of it. I've made a very loud, very big deal out of it. I'm going
just-
to, in case I need to be a little less subtle, and Torek will lean in on the table. I'm going to get up and leave and go somewhere other than the sewers where I have shouted I want to go.
Okay, yeah. That's...
Are we all good with this? I'm sorry I didn't reveal the plan beforehand, but I thought it might not get genuine.
Okay, you definitely had us running. Let's find another inn. We'll set up a
Except if
watch.
you-
I only sleep
I
for
apologize.
4 hours. Yeah, it's all good. Let's go.
Okay, I'll stay here with Macvic, sell the ruse.
I'll stay with
you
Macvic
go.
as well.
All right, well, I'm
Guess
going to
I'm
the sewers then. And I'm
Guess
leaving.
I'm babysitting. And
Okay,
Mel walks
fine,
up with Torek.
Fuck off.
Hyacinth will also go with Torek.
You know
Your
you
inn
gotta.
is lovely, even though I called it a piece of shit. Thank you for having me. Your drinks were good.
Yeah, asshole.
I wasn't talking to you. I was talking to the bartender.
Like, you can see that he's like, there's like a scowl at you, Torek, but when you say like your drinks were good, he's fine. But like the moment that Haza speaks up, he flicks her a finger.
Yes, his term school lessons are paying off clearly.
Okay, I'm gonna level with you. I wanted to say those words to him several times before this. This just felt like sort of a safe time.
So Hyacinth and Torek
And Mel.
and Mel to One-Eyed Jacks.
If that works for you, I'm just here to assist.
I
Sure.
would honestly rather go find somewhere to sort of out of the way. One-Eyed Jacks is nice, but it's like real nice.
Then
Maybe
somewhere
we-
around here then? Somewhere else?
I mean,
You know,
we could try
it
to
occurs to
find-
me that we once again separated ourselves into locals and not locals, and this is one of those times we really need a local.
Mhm. I
Because I'm
think,
looking for somewhere uninhabited right now.
yeah,
Oh,
I mean,
like
we can try to
completely.
we could try to find a house to squat in. If I don't think leaving the city's a good idea, they'll probably check us at a gate. So
Yeah.
camping in the woods is not great.
Hey, can I just say that squatting in a house is if the guards find us squatting in a house, we will be approached by guards. And that is
Yeah,
a
but-
problem. Something
so
we
just
cannot
don't get caught.
have. Oh, right.
What about the ruins? No one goes in there.
That sounds like there. If no one goes in there, there's probably a reason. So it might be dangerous.
Nope. I mean, yeah.
I'm willing to try it if that's what you feel is a good idea. I'm sure.
I'll say it was a good idea. I fully admit that. Let's just go.
Do the ruins at all look like there's like a hidden place to hide, or is it just like a couple like low walls?
The most suspicious part of town.
So you guys have passed near some of the ruins before. On the map, they're kind of represented relatively small, but like they have structure and like facets and pockets in the city. This is just like the greatest conglomerate of the ruins of Ilisk. There are full buildings, overgrowth, and destroyed furnishings and in what's the word? Buildings that were here that remain only in empty plots or in scraps of wall. Torek, roll me a history check.
The nat one to kill us all and end this campaign.
Just the non-locals.
I called it! I called it! I have expertise. I am an
know.
archaeologist. There are ruins. We should totally just walk into those things.
I like because you have
Oh,
expertise and you
wow.
are an archaeologist. Even though you've rolled a nat one, I won't give you fun, cool details. But like, even suggesting the idea of going into the ruins for safety is really the worst possible decision you can make. Between like the actual structural integrity of any of these buildings that does not exist, these ruins are hella fucking haunted.
Hunted. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like, it would be pretty much the safety equivalent of just walking back into the host tower.
And make me pull overtime, huh, Torek?
With half the team.
How about we just go for a nice, relaxing stroll through the city, and if we can find a building that's boarded up, we'll scope it out. Otherwise, we might just have to stay up all night.
I still vouch for having like a place that's inconspicuous. Squatting in a house isn't that.
Hmm.
As much as it is out of sight, it's not like the guard don't check on abandoned buildings.
Maybe we can find a flop down, just a flop house, cheap in kind of place that charges by the quarter hour.
If only we knew where we would find something like that.
Hmm.
Uh,
I would like to stress that
I will cast message back into the tavern and ask Oz if he has a recommendation for a seedy joint where the guards don't go.
Does that feel like something Oz would
yeah,
know?
that seems like something you ask Inks.
I don't know. I just
That's not a dig on Inks. Like Inks knows the back ways. We have seen Inks use them.
Mhm.
You're right, but
We-
oh my
we
god.
We don't ask the person who took us to a very well-to-do part of Hobgoblin Town.
Well, Oz, what do you say? Because if you just say I don't know, then I'll ask someone else.
Sorry, Doug.
Oh no, you're good. I actually literally just wrote to Max. It's funny because Inks would be perfect for this.
In fact, you know exactly a place to go. I have a
You-
name for you and everything. But
you-
Oz?
You hear in response, "Oh, for fuck's sake, wait there." Inks?
Hmm?
I believe our compatriots could use a hand outside.
Oh, so when will we be expecting you back?
No, unfortunately, I don't have the expertise that they're looking for. They need someone with a little better understanding of the side and back streets of the city.
Hmm. Where are they?
I believe they're just outside, maybe around the corner.
All right, I'll be back. Don't go anywhere.
Oh, I won't.
She was actually not looking at you when she said that.
Yeah, Mac kind of doesn't really shrink back, but seems kind of surprised. Does have that surprise of, you're talking to me? But you step outside and they're like down the street a little ways.
What now?
So we didn't really think it through that well, and none of us know this place at all. You wouldn't happen to know like an inconspicuous joint that doesn't ask any questions, where we might be able to just like, get a room.
Those are, in fact, the only places I know. Do I have a name, Max?
Indeed you do. You have the Seven Sails Inn on
Perfect.
Setting Sun Street.
I will happily give them information on the way to take the back streets, and wish them good luck.
Be a lot faster, and we could avoid some guards if you went with us. Throwing that out there. You said 7 sails or 7th sail?
7.
Be right back. Inks will go back into the bar.
I love the
Um,
stealth. Continue.
Where exactly will you all be holding up for the night? Haza, obviously, here.
Here in my room.
Mhm. And you too?
I guess here.
Yeah, I was assuming here.
Okay, perfect. I'll see you soon. Uh, she'll go outside, um, walk in front of everybody. All right, let's go. We don't have a lot of time.
Lead on.
Fantastic.
Do you call a cab?
How far away is it?
I believe it's only like 4 blocks from where you are.
Oh, then no.
All right. Making a 4-block trek feel like 3. Inks takes you guys to uh, a tavern that is closer to the southern gate of the city. That has a wood-facing
Setting sun?
Setting Sun Street. Sorry, Setting Sun Street. 7 Sails Inn. Sorry, I got it from my computer. I'm trying to remember all these things while I'm up.
It's okay, sorry.
Yeah. To a plain-faced wooden structure with a stained glass window that looks so old and rather grimy. But the stained glass window is that of a sailing vessel with waves and a sea serpent rising from the ocean. An impressive piece that has not been maintained. In fact, one of the glass panes is just punched out. Um, and yeah.
That tracks.
Appreciate it, Inks. Sorry to take
course.
you away from whatever.
My pleasure. Careful, don't touch too much. And good luck.
All right. You are told briskly upon entry that it's 2 silver for a night stay.
Yeah.
I
Two.
will happily plop down 4 silver, just in case anyone says we were ever here. We weren't.
Coins are scraped off the table. And you are told that biscuits and gravy will be served at 6 a.m. Your rooms are, or your single room that you all have, is a spring mattress, which is surprising. Especially when one of the springs jumps out of the mattress upon being interacted with at all. But at least it's swept and dusted. A wash basin. Just going to sleep here, or are you doing anything else?
I would like to take some time to just read over the spell books that I acquired and identify any of the items that I picked up.
Dun,
The
dun,
the
dun.
2 rings and the lodestones, and see if they're anything important.
The lodestones are the component for the mending cantrip. The rings are for warding bond. The I believe that's most of the stuff that you've found. Then there's also
There's the gilded flower that's for summon fae.
yeah.
But then then the spell books.
And then there is the purple tome that you found. And
I
then,
assumed that it was a spell book, but I guess it's not. Neat.
in fact, when you open it, the pages remain blank until you begin studying.
Mhm.
I just read the last line. It's excellent.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah, I forgot to give you the cloak. Fine, I'll just sleep on it.
There are 8 schools of magic, by the way.
Did I not? I did not.
Yeah. I think that did throw me for a loop last session too.
Uh-huh.
Because I read this that said 6 symbols. But then and then we had that door puzzle with the 6 differently colored gems, and I forgot that there were 8 schools of magic.
I feel like during that puzzle I looked up what the schools were and was like, oh shit, wait, I feel like there are more than this. Because there were.
Yeah. Sweet. And then
Spellbook.
Spellbook, yeah. What's his name's?
Zach Nathan.
Yeah, Mr. Nathan. Do.
I just sent it to you. I don't know if you
Yes.
can. Okay.
Got it.
Okay.
So yeah, and then I'll be up for my 4 hours, and then
Do you have
tramp.
a diamond?
I think I have the diamond.
Nell has it, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I would have kept it.
Okay. No, the identify diamond.
Pearl.
Oh.
If I do, then I didn't write it down.
Okay.
Oh wait, do you mean do I already have an identified diamond?
Yes.
Pearl? Yeah, you said that I
Pearl.
already have.
Pearl. Oops. Diamond. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Diamond dust. Yes. Mel has because that. Yeah. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
My bad. Fucking up.
And then the amber wand. That was just a cool looking wand.
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, I might have made it a something. Let me check.
Plus 2 style.
I'm sorry, just for my notes, since it sounds like it's your PC, you said this place was near the South Gate, but on setting sun. I'm wondering if you meant Reaver's Run, which runs to the South Gate, looking at the map.
I mean, again, no, it's not on when I would say closer to the South Gate, like closer than Dallas Corner, like.
Okay.
But no, yeah.
Understood.
You are not on the main road. No. Thank you. No, I just gave you a cool wand.
Cool.
A cool looking wand.
Cool.
Hope that's all right.
Yeah, of course.
Plus 2 to flourish.
Right. I am just gonna go ahead and just look through some of these spells and see if there are any that I want to learn, transfer to my spell book tonight. But I will look at that and then tell you afterward.
Okay. I'm actually. I already. You are. If you have the components and the time, you can do it.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else in this tavern or in this inn that anyone's doing?
Not sleeping.
Roll another con save. It's a DC 14 this time.
Oh, I'm gonna be exhausted. There's no doubt about it.
Wow.
2 nat ones in a row.
Holy
Check
shit.
that counter, y'all.
God damn. Oh, wow.
You know what? I will burn an inspiration that I just got.
I'm so afraid.
And if I roll another nat 1, then
You're doing a Wheaton.
all right.
Hey,
Well,
not a that one.
not a nat 1, but
You don't have to retire.
I've rolled 3d20 and my total is not even 10 yet. Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Okay.
And now you're exhausted, which is only going to improve your odds. Hey, now you'll roll twice. That's double the chances of not. Right? That's how that works.
I bet it will also improve Torik's mood.
Actually, it works backwards. He gets slap happy when he's tired.
Oh,
Okay.
Flying Torik has ever been happy in his life.
Oh my god.
oh.
Just
Oh, sorry, you gotta be
grumpy,
here.
horrid little curmudgeon.
Okay. To Daleth's corner. Anything anyone wants to declare?
Before Inks gets back, I do want to look over to Oz and say, "Are you doing all right?"
Been better. Quite tired, actually.
Fair. You paid the biggest price of any of us in there.
Well, with any luck, we'll be able to get it reversed. I'll hang my hat on that for the evening.
Hopefully you're right. But I just wanted to acknowledge, because nobody else really...
Well, I appreciate that, Hazel.
Yeah, I know it doesn't help, but
Well, it is what it is, and hopefully it's temporary. I really do not look forward to explaining it to my father if it's not.
yeah.
But on a positive note, we were successful in finding what we were looking for. We may, in fact, steal defeat out of the jaws of victory by not getting paid for doing so.
Yeah.
But might be the best course of action. And the best news of all, we were able to rescue an individual from that nightmarish place. I'll raise a glass to Macvic.
Yeah, same.
Thanks again. Actually, it means a lot to not be stuck in there. I mean,
Yeah.
not it means I'm not going to be, I guess, funded in my research anymore. I guess, but
I mean, I guess we could introduce you to our employer, who might employ you scientifically.
oh yeah, who's
It's worth a shot, I guess. Otherwise, we'll give you money to take a caravan or an auto coach.
okay. Yeah, I guess that's fine. Not that I would. I mean, I am a homeless now,
Yeah.
so being homeless in Luskin or homeless in Waterdeep, I guess, is
Well, okay. Before we get to that, as long as you're here, you can use my room. It's fine. So
okay.
you're not homeless. You don't.
And if you're interested, I happen to be affiliated with an organization that prides itself on discovering magical secrets and disseminating that information to the general public. So if that falls in line with your goals as a researcher, I could certainly make some introductions.
I mean, that might be good. Just sort of depends on how well it goes.
I understand.
And inks you return at this point.
Well, that was a hassle, but good news. They found a place to stay for the night.
Wonderful.
Yeah, it occurs to me one of us should be with them whenever they're making local decisions.
How noble of you to volunteer for the next time.
I don't know places. Like, I've run by them.
Yeah, it sounds like you have a wonderful working knowledge of the area.
Okay. Did Torque swear at you?
Actually, he seemed quite grateful. He didn't say it, of course, but
Yeah, he sort of glowered it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, did you? Oh, yeah, you did. Whoops. Oh, classic Doug memory.
It's funnier that Inks doesn't remember it, honestly.
Oh, you count that one as a swear word? Okay.
No, that wasn't swearing. I said thank you. I was appreciative.
Very out of character.
Mac, do you want to turn in early?
I don't know that whatever hour it is would count as
Yeah.
early, but
What time does
I-
it feel like for you right now,
It-
approximately?
if I, you know what? I've been sleeping on an alchemy bench for every time I've ever
Yeah,
slept for whoever knows how long.
Yeah, you take
I
my
guess
bet.
50 years.
I
I
guess.
guess.
I don't know. I
Yeah.
think perhaps he should be in a room with double beds. That way, one of us can make sure he's safe all night.
I mean, I was gonna just sleep on the floor,
Yeah, it's fine. No,
like on a
Oh,
roll on the floor.
that's too much. I'll just get a room with 2 beds.
All right, you go and pay 5 silver.
5 silver.
And it sounds like Oz and Haza, and then Inks and Mac.
That sounds like the plan.
All right.
It just shows you the dingy closet that she lives in. Like, do you want the bed?
Oz walks back downstairs and pays 5 silver for the room.
A single is 7 silver.
Great.
So funny.
I guess I'll do whatever with this cloak. I'll just sleep on it.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
It's soft.
It's nice. It's a pretty good blanket, probably, actually.
It's not a good keep you warm blanket.
No.
It's just soft and silky.
I guess I would know how attunement things work. Do I just sit and look at
Yeah.
it for a bit before
mean,
bed? I just stare. I hold it up and just stare at it for like an hour.
If you want to be, that's how you would spend your time to attune to it, I guess.
Yeah. Nobody's told me how to do this. I've just heard you look at it and you think about it.
It's actually it is actually a functional cloak of the elven kind.
Oh.
Mhm.
Neat.
Um,
Promptly use it as a blanket. That cloak of elven kind.
once Mac and I are alone.
Yeah.
Hey, I just want to apologize earlier about taking your book as forcefully as I did. For obvious reasons, I'm very interested in the work that you're doing here. And I was hoping, in exchange for keeping watch all night, I could maybe spend more time with the book in your research.
uh um yeah. Yeah. I guess. I mean, again, it's the only copy I've got. Well,
As I
I'm
said before, I promise nothing will happen to that book. I'll protect it as much as I would protect you.
okay. Yeah. Sure.
Perfect. Now you go ahead and lay down, rest up. We have a big day tomorrow.
Actually, if you don't, um, maybe I should hold on. And he pulls out the book, and like flips to a deliberate section, um, and says, "So this," and he like pinches a few, like several pages together. Um, uh, you shouldn't. Um, this is a big deal. That I'm letting you look at this. You shouldn't share it with anyone. Part of what's in here is some experimental surgical practice that helped. I don't think it was necessary, but it. I would I think I would get in a lot of trouble if any of that was out. And if you don't want to be associated with that, you should avoid reading this section at all. The less you know, the better.
Trust me, I'm quite great at keeping secrets, even the more unsavory ones.
Okay. I'm gonna trust you. But if you're not here tomorrow, or that book is ash, or whatever, I mean, I don't really have anything I can do about it, but I'll never forgive you, I guess, is all I can really say.
No worries. I'm a goblin of my word. And she smiles and holds out a hand to shake.
He shakes your hand and then
Her
gets into the
smile
bed.
has not faded this entire time.
Is it like an authentic smile, or is it a concerning smile?
It's an authentically concerning smile. Like she has not practiced smiling, or rather,
Oh,
she has
okay.
practiced it a little too much
Okay.
in an
It's not a
attempt to
sinister
be.
smile. It's just kind of
No,
plasticky.
yeah,
Okay.
she is doing her best to seem personable.
Okay. Why don't you also
Um,
make me a con save if you're
yeah, I
staying
was
up
just
all
about
night?
to say I'm not sleeping.
Yeah. DC 14.
Oof, oof.
Ooh. You learn before you start drifting, and you don't fall asleep, but like to the point where the words are no longer words. You learn of a blood infusion, um, that when isolated, no, not infusion, but a separation, more apparently, an isolation, that Macvic was able to distill, um, discovering what was fragments of something physical, in his own blood. You like the only test subject he has was himself, um, and that physical material he then compared to like several other things that like came through the lab at different times, be it people, items, things, um, creatures. Um, no other creature like had within it, or no other item kept with on it, this same material until he met, some creatures that had professed, some cataclysmic, uh, event in their life that forced a breach in reality, um, that manifested in some way, in some arcane event that affected them so deeply that it granted them a power over magic. And the thing that he noted in common with some of these test subjects as they passed through was like they made note of what was simply like at that moment of their crossing, um there was something tangible that affected them. They had no name for it, but the he Mac notes it as, his theory is that like the physical weave has grasped at them in some way, and he confirms this by like doing blood samples and recording that like each of these creatures in turn maintained a bit of this physical material. And once he understood a little bit more of what that physical material was, he was able to like track it down in magic items, and like discovered that that's like what is giving off magical auras is like this molecular affectation of the weave within particles of material. Like it is something that is being imbued on a subatomic level is magic. And in some creatures it can manifest within them biologically. And it is the fact that he is able to say with his own samples that, like, if he is correct and he is not an outlier amongst others who have lived like he has, that this magical material, the factual weave, is within his body and his blood. And it might be the case that is the case, that remains true for others who suffer similarly.
Do I have time to copy?
Copy anything?
Yeah.
I don't think with your exhaustion level you could.
Fair enough.
I feel like that's a you've functionally been up for like 36 hours at this point.
Fair.
Yeah. All right. I think with that, all of you can take a long rest and gain your level up stuff. Oh, Cody.
No, that was just a sigh of relief.
Oh, okay.
Long rest.
And in the morning, where who is messaging who and how?
I think our group is probably best to just meet back up with the others. You know, we're the ones that left, so I think it should be that we'll just head over there. I can't message anyone from longer than 100 feet away, 120. So we'll just head back there. Well, I'll present that to my companions here.
Sure. I was figuring the people doing all the. Well, no, Mel's here.
What am I here
Otherwise,
for?
the people. Well, you're one of the three who was contacting an organization, right? You're going on to
Yes.
the clerics.
Oh, right. That reminds me. And she resumes scribbling her letter before sending it out.
Who wants to actually? Well, never mind. This. I was going to say the people who are going to talk should go do that, but we got to figure out who's talking to the BAAA. Too many questions. Let's just go. You're right. Let's just go.
Okay, so you all meet up the next day. A couple of you a little worse for wear.
Mwah. Thank you. I have a question for you, GM. If I say maybe put a glyph of warding on the box that the heart is in, would Oryx walking 10 feet trigger that?
Oric?
Or sorry, Toric. God, I keep doing this.
I know the answer to this one because I've looked this up, and the answer is yes.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, that's what I
cannot
thought.
move the stationary object. Or
Secondary
it will trigger
question:
it.
could you dismiss a glyph of warding without removing it, like the magic?
I would say no, just because Glyph of Warding's purpose is to be affixed. It's not the kind of spell that's like, and I'm done with it, I'm getting rid of it. Like it's supposed to keep doing the thing it's doing.
Kind of big
Glyph
magic.
of warding does specifically say if the surface or object is moved more than 10 feet from where you cast the spell, the glyph is broken and the spell ends without being triggered.
Oh, so if you just picked it up and moved it, then it doesn't do anything.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, that's actually really good.
You'll break it, but it won't be triggered.
Wonderful. So
there you go. Thank you. Again, I'm up.
That means, and I will tell this to Toric, that I could cast something that will defend the heart while if we have like another night with it.
That would also just cost 200 gold of
Yeah,
time
that's
back.
fair. Yeah, it's expensive.
Yeah.
Oh
Let's
well.
see if that's even an issue. If we find someone that's going to deal with this for us, then we don't need to worry about holding it another night. Now, granted, I don't think that's likely to happen. While we're out of just between the three of us, these things are, as we have all discussed, not easy to destroy. It's not a question of resources, it's a question of know-how.
It is
Honestly,
just
the
then.
most likely... Oh, sorry.
It is just then that the three of you, as well as the other three, are alerted to the sound of something battering against your separate windows wherever you are staying.
It's the cops! They
Hyacinth,
found us!
like,
No.
jolts
Jesus.
up and casts mage armor real quick, and then looks at the window.
Some black folded paper birds are just hammering their way, trying to get in.
Does this window open?
Any window can open if you're. Yes.
Okay. I'll
Oh,
open the
boy.
window.
Same.
Each little paper bird flutters in and then unfurls itself to be identical notes signed by Lauxius that just says in the white ink on the black paper, if you are reading this, it means that you have survived and have escaped the host tower. Please come to the Vanguardians at your earliest convenience.
Well, that could be urgent.
Yeah, we should probably meet up with everyone else real quick, but
Mhm.
I think probably headed to the Vanguardians before doing anything else might not be a bad idea.
I mean,
I figure people are going to send off their correspondence, and
mhm.
that's going to take time to get responses anyway. So
I was just going to visit the temple in town. My correspondence to my temple is sent.
right,
Wait,
right.
so your letter was unconnected to our question?
No, it was just in case this temple is here in town is less, I don't know, funded, cared after. Churches kind of work that way, depending on the hold of the god and the place, etc., etc.
Well, let's get back to Dallas Corner
You
first
can just
up.
call it.
And
You can just call it the crap hole. We know what you're talking about. You know, it's not the same when Hayes is not here to get riled up about it. This is just
yeah, I have no opinion. I think I might just call it the corner though. Something about the THS followed by the C. It's hard to roll off of my tongue, I guess.
Alex.
So the corner.
Okay.
Well, I guess that could refer to any corner. Anyway, let's hit the road.
Okay. Down Setting Sun Street to Dallas Corner, and meeting up with everyone downstairs for breakfast.
Yeah,
Mhm.
probably.
Right. You're provided with a very large pan of scrambled eggs that have been cooked in the same pan as the fried bacon. And he just sets down like this cast iron skillet for the 7 of you and just says, have at it.
Fantastic.
By the way, which of us is the worst at sneaking? Or I
Are
guess
you
the loudest.
asking me?
No, sorry.
All right, he leaves.
Thank you.
Well, I do carry quite a bit of gear.
I got a
Yeah,
bunch of
but
danglies on me. She just
Yeah.
sort of like shakes her head.
it's,
got
it's not the danglies, it's the chain. It's
He's
the
got the
armor.
clanky. You got
Oh
clanky?
right. She just sort of like looks down to her flail. Should stop dragging that sometimes.
Are you looking
Okay.
for someone to be stealthy, or are you looking for someone to make a distraction?
No, this cloak is probably best served with whoever is the worst at sneaking around.
And what does it do?
It makes you sneakier if you put the hood up.
Oh, like one of those elven cloaks? Did
Yes.
I have that right?
You have to attune to it, so you gotta like focus on it and think about it for some amount of time.
He sort of looks at Haza. I know what attunement is.
Okay, okay, listen. I just didn't
Say,
want to take it for
say, Torek.
Hmm.
Interested in an elven cloak?
Can't say I am. Not very sneaky anyway.
Ah, but you could set up to take advantageous shots.
Mm.
I can already take advantageous shots.
I
mean,
will pull up the hood to show like the like camouflage effect.
I mean,
Eh?
why not give it to the person who's good at sneaking to make him even better at sneaking, you know?
True.
I mean, there is the fact that it looks like it's sized for somebody significantly taller than me. As he is standing on the chair.
Well,
Yeah.
You're a giant in my eyes, Torek.
I'll bundle the
I
cloak
have
up and just
never
set it
been
in
so
two.
insulted in my life.
I
I leave. No, I don't. I'm kidding. I do cast a very dirty look at Oz.
Okay, well, whoever
Oh,
does the
you
most.
don't know. Giants and dragons are age-old enemies, so that was deeply insulting.
Is there anyone that dragons aren't enemies with at this
Yeah.
point?
No, is the answer.
Literally anyone else.
I mean, okay.
Besides the Fae.
Hey, Faye started that shit. Dragons had
Okay,
nothing to do
yeah,
with it.
Sorry, that was a trigger word.
Did the Fae have anything to do it, or the elves? Because that is different, you know.
Yes.
They are technically right.
Fae ancestry is different than Fae.
Elves are Fae, correct? They are descended from Fae creatures. Am I correct?
They are not Fae anymore.
They are Fae blood. Yes? I mean, the answer is it's elves. But the elves did the magic. They learned it from the other Fae creatures. They brought it with them. So
Okay.
the answer is basically yes. I can give you the treatise if you really want to get into it,
Oh,
but we're all trying to
God.
be friends here. So I kind of figured that we don't care. I just was,
I don't mean to start a fight. I am very interested in learning because this seems to be affecting our relationship so drastically. From my point of view, no one that I am affiliated with had anything to do with anything that you're talking about, but I seem to be being held responsible, so I might as well learn.
So, what's the plan for the day?
Well, I'm gonna head down to the Tower Breakers HQ in town and inquire about their capabilities with regards to phylacteries. Perhaps,
I'm gonna do the same.
perhaps if Macvic is interested, I'll make some introductions.
Yes, please.
Any of y'all that are interested, you're more than welcome to come. I will say that I am certain that there will be an attempt to ask a great number of questions about the host tower. We've been trying to get information about that for quite some time. I will try and put that off, as I'm assuming everyone else received similar visitors this morning to the one that arrived at my window. And so hopefully I'll be able to put those questions off to a later date. But just know you might find yourself under a barrage of inquiries should you decide to join me this morning.
Do we think splitting up is the right plan? I mean, we might as well stick together and all be there for every conversation.
I feel like
I'm
somebody
not
should
leaving the heart, so
definitely go to the Vanguardians at some point.
I think we should probably all go there first.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. The
Okay.
letter I received said, come there at my earliest convenience. Well, it'll be convenient once I have some answers about who can get rid of this thing.
Okay, fair enough. Maybe we split into two groups. One goes Tower Breakers, other goes whatever crypt we're going into.
How do you want to split?
Mel's currently going alone, unless anyone wants to go.
Where are you going?
Just the Temple of Urgol in town.
well, that sounds fairly straightforward, because where Mel goes, I go. And I'm not letting the box out of my sight, so goes the box.
Might I suggest this then? Half of us go with Mel, half of us go with me. When each of those conversations are done, we'll meet back up here or we'll come back to Dallas Corner, wait for the other group, where we can all go to the Vanguardians together.
Sure.
I like it.
I am curious about the clerics, to be honest, so I'll go with you.
Oh, good. They'll have a local.
True.
A local. It's like a commodity now.
Well, I guess that means I'll go with Oz.
And that leaves me with Oz as well.
All right. Mel, you certainly know where this temple is. It would be in the northeast of the southern half of the city, on the southern side of the river. This building would be small and would be very closely located to what would be a public cemetery for the wealthy. Most people who would be buried without like the ownership of land would more frequently be outside the walls, but prior to like that establishment, this plot as well as the temple, and I say temple, this is like a modest chapel at best, the kinds of people who would be more or less relegated to groundskeepers, rather than like the high and mighty like crypt of the like the Underdark or such in larger facility larger cities. Not that this is a big city, but like most cities don't need a temple to Zhurgle for kind of really any reason most of the time.
Yeah, they're just there.
Yeah. But because they keep the grounds and they perform well, and they offer this service freely, the city has no problems with Scriveners of Doom working to keep the land. You have a couple priests here who, by the length of their name, are clearly not high facility workers. um, they have they have what you would take as like their full goblin names that they were probably given at birth. Um, they offer their services to you. What do you ask?
I will first introduce myself and tell them that I'm from Neverwinter. I'm a scrivener, you see, and I have a bit of a question that relates to my work.
Of course, sister. What can we do for you?
W- Would you be capable of destroying a phylactery?
Within our own chapel, certainly not. That is a great task and responsibility relegated only to those of shorter name.
She like holds up a piece of paper with the scriveners from Neverwinter's missive and say, "Yeah, that's what I got from my chapter, but I just figured I'd come and see. Would there be any way to transport such thing out to a bigger facility without maybe the dangers of land travel?"
Unfortunately, no. We would make it a great honor to pilgrimage somewhere where it could be destroyed and protect it with our lives, do whatever necessary to ensure that it traveled safely, but we have no immediate means of transport. Ship might be the fastest way that we could go.
Hmm. Well, I appreciate your help, and I will come back if I am in need of your services at a later time. Uh, Mel is the name. And she bows and like turns back to the others.
One of them says, rather like plainly, is this not within your own power?
Huh? Not quite. And not necessarily my own power. I mean, the power is given through Yergol, and with my study, of course, it helps, but my resources are also given by the church when I am there. I am more of an accountant in the field nowadays, so I don't really have the backing in my day to day of my old temple. I couldn't perform such a thing even if I wanted to. I plainly don't have the gold.
There's a little confusion between the two of them, but they um, kind of skeptically nod.
Oh! It's the aha! I mean, my name's Melixitha. It's not that long.
There's the both of them. Oh.
Yes, I mean, I don't know. Have you ever? Those elvish names get very up there.
It precisely is the mark of honor that many of us seek.
I mean, it's been a while for me since childhood, basically. So I say time. It helps. But thank you. I appreciate it.
They both nod. If this item remains in Luskan, it will become our responsibility to report it to those who can dispose of it.
How about the reverse? Since you mentioned telling one of ours to come and do it for us, instead of making a pilgrimage outside, we could just wait for them to come here.
If we might be able to bend their ear. This is something of significant value.
It really is. I would like to see this place completely rid of it. Hmm. Well, I shall pull a few strings, try and get some attention from other of our number, and I will return if I have anything further.
They nod and leave you.
She sighs, kind of disappointed. Huh, back home was a lot bigger than this. This is kind of quaint. I'm sorry, you two.
No big deal.
So there are two options that they provide to us. One is one that I will not go for, plainly. I would much rather get rid of, like, it not leave the city until we destroy it. Right. So, one that they suggested was they would make a pilgrimage to a bigger institution and get rid of it there with the higher clergy. The second is if I am able to pull a few strings, or they are, we could get someone to come here and do it. We're capable of it. It's just distance
Takes
is
time.
the problem. Granted, it would take time anyways, but I don't think it's the time necessarily that is the problem. It's the in safe hands and getting destroyed. Because it is a process.
Okay.
Uh,
You guys head back to the corner?
yeah, I'm gonna write another message to my old temple and say, yeah, okay, well, I'm in Luskin. Would somebody that's capable of doing that be able to come here?
These birds take they are not as quick as sending is.
I know. I don't
certainly
have
better than
sending.
animal. Yeah. I'm just letting you certainly faster than animal messenger. So it's a couple hours later that you'll receive the message that it would be the transportation of 5 high priests. Can you accommodate?
When I get this message, probably already back at the corner by that point, I would send just plainly cost with the question mark.
Okay. I'll
Yeah, get to that when it happens.
I'm actually thinking about it, and
Even
cost of travel on a boat for 5 people. That'd be 100 gold to get them 5 of them here. Then there would have to be accommodations for them to stay, and then whatever costs of ritual components they might require.
Okay. The ritual components are
Yeah, there it is.
not funded by the church. Yeah,
Yeah.
baby. I feel like this is going to be the problem, though. Is like we're gonna take it to the Tower Breakers, and they're gonna be like, "Hey, yeah, no, we'll absolutely keep it safe and destroy it." Funny thing, though, we don't really have the components for this shit because this isn't shit we keep on hand.
You mean there might
you
be
want
a
to cover the
quest involved in
cost?
this? What?
Nah, no quest.
Economic realism in my D&D?
In this economy?
In this economy? Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll also like sort of parrot that sentiment to the other two with me though in character. Just be like, yeah, we'll probably have to cover component costs and whatever else that needs to be covered, whether we do the Tower Breakers or us.
But not the BMMMM.
Well, I mean, they seem to be more of a government organization, especially here in Luskin. So I feel like they have their ways of funding. They wouldn't need us for the back half of that. However, that also adds more suspicion because if it takes time to get that funding, then they have it for more time. They can use it for more time.
I'm not giving it up, so they're not going to have it regardless. This, wherever this goes, I'm holding.
I think it is not unreasonable to ask the BMMM to destroy it with you present.
Absolutely. Yeah. I
Yeah,
just meant
I
they don't
mean-
have time to hold it and use it
Yeah,
because
I think having a witness is reasonable considering the risk incurred, and also, it is a cultural artifact for you. That matters.
Yeah, I would probably send some people to be witness for Yergul as well.
And the Tower Breakers, it's probably similar in any case. It's just there are ramifications for not giving it to the BMMM.
I honestly don't think there's going to be a whole lot of pushback between the two organizations. They both want it destroyed.
As long as we
that's-
witness
and-
it being
and
destroyed.
End of the day, the Tower Breakers, the BAMMM, they're both going to want this gone.
Hey, Torek, I just thought of this, and this is another very fun little new wrinkle about really great political things that happen in politics. They might attack each other because they're afraid the other one has it, and are afraid now that both of them know that this might be in the possession of one or the other, that they might not have destroyed it
mean,
and might be hiding it somewhere.
I don't
Neither
think
of
we
them
have to worry
are
about that. Yeah.
evil. One of them is just shitty. The
I mean,
BMMM isn't
honestly,
evil, it's just filled with shitheads.
I mean,
Well, it's
Let me-
not
let
about
me-
being good or evil. One is like oppressive, and the other one is trying to be against that
I mean, they're
oppression.
ultimately doing the same work in different ways. Let's be real. Oz was quite happy to say that some things need to be destroyed, and he's right. All that means is some they're just it's just a question of where the line is drawn. I don't really care about either organization at this point. It's just wow, what the hell voice have I slipped?
I suppose at the end of this we will put it to a vote, and that will be how we decide this anyway.
I mean,
And
it
as
really is going to
Torek
come down to who
mentioned-
can do it. So,
Well, actually, let's see how
and how fast.
Can I think of if I have ever heard of a phylactery being destroyed, and maybe how long it took
Like in
in
your...
time? Yeah, in
Oh,
just reading or.
Oh, okay. Oh, make a history or religion check.
I will make a history check. Pwah. Wow.
You have read about the destruction of a phylactery recorded and kept within your facility. The event was documented by priests Nim, Written, and Smite, like tiefling priests of high power, uh, who were like absolutely. They each had their own account of what happened, allowing for the object came to them from like a group of adventurers who were hoping to get money from them. The Scriveners politely indicated that this is not a facility that contains wealth, and that they would be removing this mark from the world, regardless of the adventurer's stake in it. And the adventurer was kindly, not so kindly, violently encouraged to leave and to abandon their cause for pawning this item. The ritual was moderately intensive in that like it is highly strenuous to do so. And typically clerics don't have the ease of magic that allows for this sort of undoing. The three of them were able to do so because one of them was a wizard. However, doing so lent the caster without magic for 4 days. They cast Wish, um, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Like the other two are there to support him and help him get back home, or like help him like be safe in the time that like it took after the ritual to like recover. It's big magic to undo something this big, since it takes big magic to make one in the first place.
All right. Um. Gosh. Well, Wish. Okay. Wish doesn't have. Wish doesn't have a like component though. Like a.
It does not, but it does
Yeah, you need to be like a fucking 9th level or 10th level caster, yeah?
Yeah, it also renders the caster unable to access magic for like 1d4 days.
Right.
Or something, or like 4 days or something. If you are bending the written description of the spell.
Yeah, okay. So component costs are less of the thought and more like, hey, we gotta find somebody with a wish spell and also probably pay for their housing for a few days. At least in my case.
More or less, yeah. Like part of the ritual component aspect of it is just like I am saying like, because most of the clerics within your chapel would be clerics.
Mhm.
Wish is not on the table, so like there's other forms of like a dispel magic. Yeah. The rest of you have gone to the Tower Breakers, yes?
Mhm.
All right. Did we describe the Tower Breakers like facility at all, Adam?
We did. I can do it again.
Please do.
Yeah. It is an old, rundown carriage house that Oz leads y'all to. It is pretty much a shithole. Like a carriage house, the ground floor is pretty much entirely open. There are some tables and chairs scattered about, and Oz explains that this is space that is usually used for just training and education, and for members of the public to come and learn either some simple magic or to learn what the Tower Breakers are about. And he leads you to a set of stairs that takes you to a loft where there are bunks and some desks and whomever is there from the Tower Breakers that day.
And one middle-aged hobgoblin woman
Mhm.
who makes this her absolute life's dedication remains here.
Mhm.
Your friend Kran.
Yeah. And Crown, hello. I'd like to introduce
Good
you.
heavens, Oscaron!
We'll get into it. I'd like to introduce you to Inks and to Hyacinth, two relatively new friends of mine, and this is Makvik, a very new friend of mine. You're gonna want to take a seat for this next part.
She shifts in her chair.
Inks and Hyacinth and three other friends and myself, we rescued Makvik from the host tower of the Arcane. It turns out, and Makvik, correct me if I'm wrong, but you have been in said tower for I believe,
50-ish years, yeah, sounds like.
yeah. And in addition to your recollection, you first teleported into that tower like 150 years ago. Is that correct?
Probably, something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I don't feel old. I mean, I don't think I'm old, but
Well, no, obviously, if you've only been in the tower for 50 years and you found your way into the tower 150 years ago, clearly there's something going on with the passage of time inside the tower as being out of sync with the passage of time outside of the tower. I
yeah.
won't suppose to know what that is. Perhaps other members of the Tower Breakers might be able to shed more light on that. As such, Makvik is quite literally a man without a country, and is currently exploring what options are available to him to make a life for himself now that he has found his way
Sorry.
out of the tower.
She rises and goes to one of the bunks with a like chest in front of it, unclasping the lock that is not like locked into place, and opening it up, sifting through it, and pulling out what is functionally like these sorts of emergency kits, like that are, like functionally a go bag that has like some clothes, a bedroll, and water skins and such. And she says, "We can find a bed for him here." And she passes it to him. He takes it with like the wind kind of getting pushed out of him.
Mhm. And Makvik, as I understand it, there's no strings attached here. You can come and go as you please, or just leave, should you find that more appropriate at any time. But at least until you've got a more long-term plan, this will at least be a place to hang your head. Crown, here are some books and I'll give her the 3 books that I took from the host tower. I don't know what they are, but I figure any information that we've been able to gather, the Tower Breakers can start deciphering it and perhaps have a better sense of what's going on there. To that end, I'm curious if if we, gesturing to Inks and Hyacinth, if we were to get our hands on a phylactery, um, will the Tower Breakers destroy it?
She's turning the books over in her hands and flipping through the pages, and stops abruptly when you say such. Closes the book and sets it on her desk. And she's clearly been pondering as you've been speaking, and sits herself on top of her desk, just leaning on it, and says, "What sort of phylactery would you have found?"
Haven't
If
found
it
one yet.
if it be a member of the Arcane Brotherhood, it would, I believe, be in better interest to ensure that it got taken to Candlekeep and destroyed properly.
Well, yes, I imagined in my head that some of the higher ups from Candlekeep would probably want to teleport up here and either get rid of it or immediately take it back. I don't know what the procedure would be, so I don't know what resources are necessary. But I would imagine that they would want to destroy this thing as quickly as possible.
I would agree. I would certainly classify it as an enormous priority.
To be fair, we are not necessarily talking about Arcane Brotherhood. We heard tell of a Dracolich that's being held there, and a phylactery for it that might be found inside.
Being held.
Yes, the info that we got was that the Dracolich was suspended in inside the tower, and that a phylactery to it was also inside at one point.
Seems like it would be the moral responsibility of the Tower Breakers to set that creature free. It's a prisoner within a tower. It would only be natural to, granted its poor existence has been warped beyond its own comprehension, but it doesn't deserve to remain imprisoned.
But wouldn't you agree that the truest way to set free the soul of this Dracolich would be to destroy the phylactery and let it continue on to whatever afterlife it deserves?
I think that would be entirely up to the theologians of draconic nature, one that I certainly have no mastery of. If it would be to bring it peace, then perhaps, but I don't know what awaits a dragon in its afterlife.
Another
Wise.
member of our group is happens to be a member of the Church of the Dragon Gods, and I believe he has mentioned that bringing it rest is what it deserves.
Well, if that were true, then that would be my advice, but I certainly could not count myself as a qualified advisor in this area. If you were to ask me, I simply wish that that creature should no longer be experiencing its imprisonment, whatever that might mean.
So, I'm sorry, I'm just a bit confused. If presented with a phylactery of a lich that is not trapped, then the correct answer is to destroy it. But presented with the phylactery of a lich that is captured, the correct answer is to free it? This seems conflicting.
It would be the case if it were liches, but it's a Dracolich, a creature that has its opportunity to be of its own design and making. But Dracoliches, as they are, many of the aspects of the ritual are beyond the capability of a dragon on its own. And
Yes,
as
the dragon would
such,
have to be willing to participate in it.
it would
Um,
not,
No.
as it is. It is within the power of many highly powerful wizards to take such dragons and imprison them for their own use. But whoever wields the phylactery of a Dracolich functionally has an eternal dragon at their command forever.
Then the correct answer would be to reverse the process, but that's not possible.
Agreed.
Well, Cran, wise, wise advice as usual. It sounds to me that although the Tower Breakers certainly have the capacity to destroy a phylactery, were we to find one, that a phylactery of a Dracolich would require great internal debate about whether destruction or setting the Dracolich free is the right course of action. At the end of the day, it's probably all hypothetical anyway. Getting in and out of the host tower was an ordeal in and of itself, and to do so again, to try and
Out.
well, yes, we went to the host tower, and now we are out. I'm here talking in front of you. We rescued Makvik from the host tower.
Sorry, I thought you said you had brought it out. I thought that is what you
Oh
said.
no! I'm saying it in order to make this a practical conversation as opposed to a hypothetical one. We would need to go
Right.
back into the host tower, retrieve it, bring it back out. And considering this happened to me the first time I went in, I'm not looking forward to going back in all that soon.
Please make me a deception check, Adam.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right. She says, I agree that it certainly is apparently incredibly dangerous and risky, but the fact that you made it out at all is certainly an improvement over the past few decades of research. And it might be within the interest of Candlekeep and other tower breakers to invest in some members moving to this chapter and continuing investigations personally.
Well, that would be wonderful. More resources are always helpful. In the meantime, I have some other business to conduct this morning, but I will certainly make myself available to you or whomever else to answer whatever questions I can. If Makvik is willing, he has spent considerable time in the tower, and I'm sure has quite a bit of information, but also is probably quite traumatized, so I don't know how much he wants to revisit it right now. Only tangentially related, you wouldn't happen to have or know of anyone I could speak to about dealing with this problem? And Oz gestures at its face.
Short of cosmetic artification, my dear, I think you might just be stuck with your crow's feet.
Wonderful. Other pleasant conversation with my father ahead of me. Thank you, Kron.
Mac goes to go make himself somewhat comfortable on the bunk by setting a bag down and sitting just kind of facing out on the mattress.
Mm-hmm.
Clearly still nervous, but definitely in a better place than he was before.
Inks is gonna go up to him real quick and just say, Mac, are you okay with this?
As opposed to other options, yes, I am.
Just remember, even though they're housing you and keeping you like this, you don't owe them anything, right?
Yeah, yeah. Um, Oz was saying that they're about sharing information. And I mean, once I've got, I mean, better notes, then I mean, this might be a good place to start anyway.
Okay. I just want to make sure you're good.
Yeah. Oh, thank you.
She will turn away without saying goodbye.
Okay. Bye. um, and you all meet up at Daleth's corner. Now I just kind of get a flex that I can say that. 'Cause, um, we'll take our 15-minute break and be back at 1:45. And then I guess you guys have to. I mean, actually.
There we go.
So you can meet up at Daleth's Corner, and you have to make a choice about what you are doing.
Well, we're going to what's his name's first.
You're gonna head over to Lauxius?
Yeah,
All right.
our
On the
Dapper
way,
Dragonborn.
right?
Mhm.
I'll just explain that I don't think the Tower Breakers are a good fit.
Right. Well, that narrows it down, huh?
Yeah, the whole release, it really threw me for a loop. I was in their corner, like pretty big, but yeah.
Sorry,
just
can
sounds-
we go
Hmm.
over exactly what each group said? Because we're happy to fill you in on what the Scriveners. Well, let me rephrase that. It's Mel's place to say it, but I'm sure Mel is happy to fill you in on exactly what the Scriveners
Certainly.
said.
The good news is that there's little doubt that the Tower Breakers have the means necessary to destroy this thing. However, it sounds like there would be some internal debate as to whether destroying it or setting the Dracolich free is what is best for the Dracolich. And it just seems to me that that is neither a debate nor time that we want to invite if we've made the decision that this item must be destroyed.
I mean,
This
I,
item
I,
needs
I
to
know
be
we're thinking about this the same way that we're thinking about the Arcane Brotherhood, but it is a little different. I mean, it's not different in that souls do need to be fed to this phylactery, I think. Usually, my understanding is there are cultists who are all too happy to do that, which is. I don't know how you hate yourself enough to get to that point, is really what it comes down to. It does mean that, like, actually having a conversation with Mulgrim at some point, if there is no other option, but the Tower Breakers want to talk to her first, that's a thing we could do. But it sounds like there might be another option, Mel.
Yes. So likewise, the Temple of Yurgul has the means to do it, but the only thing that we would be sort of sacrificing is time for high priests to get here. I'm sure there are some on the Sword Coast, so it's not going to be that far, and they might organize to go by ship, so it might be faster. Bad news, obviously, is that we kind of have to bankroll that whole thing,
How much?
at least in some part.
Money?
Yeah, it will be mostly for like accommodations for these three high priests. I'm sure we're not going to get them at a discount rate at an inn. That would be highly disrespectful. And boat travel for 3 or probably more individuals.
I think
But other than that, that's the only obstacle there. We are very vehement on destroying it. It sounds like.
I think what we are left with is the Bureau. I
Yeah.
understand plenty of people's misgivings about them and worry about their desire for power. I don't feel like I fear that, but I was wrong about the Tower Breakers in this regard. But I think if we, we'll discuss it with Loxius, but I think the Bureau is
Why don't we
interested in
see what Loxius actually wants before we bring it up?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'd say
Yeah,
keeping
yeah.
this out of the conversation would be good. Our relationship with him is how we're perceived. And if he thinks that we're going to endanger his reputation with a client of his,
If he
I'd
asks us
want to stay away
outright,
from
what do we say?
Depends on the question.
That is a good question.
I mean, I'm content to wait and see if he actually asks.
Mhm. But the Bureau, like, we can tell them that we request to be present at the destruction. That
No,
you
it is
hang
not a
on to it until
request.
I
You
say request for
misunderstand.
politeness. Please do not interrupt me. We ask, we instruct that we will be present, and I'm sure that won't be a problem.
And if it is,
Then we move on. We make an enemy and we move on.
Then might I suggest we don't bring the heart with us when we visit the Bureau?
I'm
I'm not
content to wait
suggesting we
behind.
leave it. I'm
No,
suggesting
I
maybe
know what you
some
mean.
people. Yeah. Okay.
No, you're right. It's definitely. You're right. You are.
Well, let's see what good news Loxius has for us.
hopefully good news.
One second, I'm typing.
Thork will actually fall in next to Oz while they are walking. Just wanted to say I appreciate you backing me up on speaking to Mulgrim in the tower. I know there was high tensions. I know a lot of that was my fault. But I do appreciate it.
Well, you're very welcome. I know what it means to serve an oath greater than yourself, and I could see what that meant to you in that moment.
I don't actually. I mean, there's no oath to serve the dragons. It's stronger than that. It is the reason we kobolds exist at all. Some of us stick to that very strongly.
I apologize that I don't have the right language to describe it, but I'm.
Oh no apology. I wanted to clarify. That's all. I appreciate the sentiment.
I understand. I was happy to help.
All right. To your good friend Lauxius. And so, when you enter the Vanguardian's establishment, Shildef Lauxius is sitting upon his counter with his legs crossed and leaning back on his hands. His tail sort of draped over the across the counter, and he's sort of laughing at some remark that someone else has made. Someone else being another page from the BMMM. And he gestures for all of you to come in with a broad hand and says, come in, good to see you all. I'm so glad that you each survived. It was such a pleasure to be able to send off those messengers today and see each of them take flight. Now, how did it go within the Host Tower Arcane? I see that some of you are a little worse for wear. I might have something for that if you're interested.
Very.
He leans back and drops one arm behind the counter and reaches around, kind of taking a peek at what he's grasping at, and extends it out to Oscaron and says, "It'll be 50 gold, but it'll help."
It's very kind of you. And I'll reach into my bag and pull out 5 platinum.
All right. He'll take your
What?
money, give you a little clear silvery liquid in a bottle.
Okay. Hopefully it's not snake oil, but I'll find out soon enough. Do I just drink this?
Yes. Unfortunately, it is not within anyone's true power, I think, to entirely reverse the effects of aging. Even dear old liches eventually begin to lose some of their luster. But it will help, at least temporarily.
All right, down the hatch.
Why don't you roll me a d4 plus
Mhm.
1? All right. It's a little bit more subtle, but you can feel like some revitalization. For the next month,
Mhm.
you will appear to have de-aged 3 years. However, you would like to interpret that after your 11-year loss.
Okay.
Clarify something. We left in the night and came back in the night. We left on the 13th. Does that make today the 15th? Because we spent a day there and then rested a day, or did we come back and then rested and it's the 14th?
It would be the 15th.
Okay, thank you. Sorry.
Yeah. So besides some cosmetic damage, how fared you all inside? Were you successful?
We ensured that the elf Zaknathan did not acquire the heart of whatever. The thing he was after.
A name. He looks pointedly at the page, who kind of suddenly and abruptly, bashfully pulls out a notepad and scribbles something down.
That was who they sent us after.
Excellent. Well, in that case, what became of the... I was somewhat limited in my knowledge of what it is exactly you were requested to defend, I suppose is the best word for it. What became of it? Is it still within the tower? Lurking?
Dracolic? Yes.
Can't imagine that the poor little fellow was intending on stealing an entire Dracolich. That sounds rather absurd.
Well, his intention is hardly material now that he's dead.
Incredibly effective. The page makes another note. Well, don't see why you shouldn't follow. Dear, what was your name? Midge. Yes, Midge. Back to the office and report your success and claim your reward? Oh, before you do, actually. He leans back over the counter again and picks up some small pieces of paper that he begins counting out with his thumb. I do have, as it happens, just tomorrow, actually, there is a concert that I had some spare tickets for. I'm not really one for this sort of thing, and they were given to me. Wouldn't mind handing them out to those who might actually. Well, I mean, you look like you could use some fun. And he hands out tickets for each of you.
That obvious, huh?
Listen, I understand that you have undertaken a precarious, difficult, and incredibly lethal task. Now twice in 1 week, which I definitely mark as marketable traits. Honestly, admirable bravery. I couldn't even call it stupidity because the amount of money you had on the line was significant enough. Either way, as I said, this isn't really my sort of thing. So, He's giving you tickets to a Grifter's Bone concert, is the name of the band.
Oh.
Grifter's Bone.
Mhm.
That sounds fun.
I just want to confirm that it's Drifter's Bone with a D.
Grifters.
Okay, no,
Grifters
I
with a
did hear it
G.
right the first time, but I thought
Mhm.
that I could not have heard that right. but I
Right.
did. Okay.
They're a Steely Dan cover band. Oh, I'm sorry, tribute band.
Midge here should just be about leaving. Might be convenient to follow him. From what I understand, it's rather labyrinthian within the archive once you're inside.
Does this prove us for that other job you were talking about?
We shall see.
I feel like
Although-
we're hitting our stride.
I
Kind of.
agree. You haven't died yet, and that's impressive within itself. That puts you ahead of. He looks at a piece of paper sitting on the counter next to him. 3 other interested parties. So
Huh. And Mel just sort of like slides up to him and is like, "Could I spare a look at that?"
he places a hand over the page.
Come on. It's
Hmm.
for work. The whole
It
reason
would be,
I'm
wouldn't it?
here.
Well, it's also my business. And he
Mm.
picks up the page and folds it, tucks it into his shirt.
All right. Not even just a little look.
Absolutely not.
It's not like I'd be showing anyone.
But you would know, wouldn't you? You better be careful, or else I should have to move you down a rank. I like someone inquisitive. I don't like someone nosy. That's my thing.
Oh, fine. I hated it when I was Melly anyways. She just sort of like waves her hand and walks away.
Well, shall we then? I can contact the Arcanist. Let him know we're coming.
Midge speaks up and says, she'll know.
Oh,
Yeah, I guess we're going.
Torek, should we meet up with you afterwards then?
Mm-hmm. Give my regards to the Arcanist. I'm gonna go back to the place I was staying last night. My room, that thing. Maybe I'll actually get some sleep this time.
I said, looks like you could use some. Very well.
He offers you Lauxius offers you another potion.
Appreciate it, but I think you know.
Suit yourself. He puts it back under the counter. All right. So, Torek, you're headed back to Seven Sails, right?
Nope. I am
Going
headed to
back to the
Dallas
sewer?
Corner.
Oh, okay, all right. I was like, don't go to the sewers. um, does Haza give you like her key, or do
yeah.
you just hang out in the tap room?
I'll give him the key to my
Oh,
room.
I was just gonna
There's
get
nothing
my
in
own
there
room.
to steal.
Oh, okay. Whatever you choose. 5 silver if you choose to get your own room. Let's see. And the rest of you are led back to the crystalline remnants of a palace of the BMMM. Once again, entirely dependent on your guide Midge to take you through the passages before you are brought before the once again to the opalescent room of the High Arcanist. She appears to have been she appears to have been waiting. She is sitting there patiently with her hands folded in front of her on her desk. Virion says when you enter, I see that one of you has decided not to join us. Is everything all right?
He did not get any sleep last night. He needed to go rest up.
She nods. And might you tell me what happened in the tower?
After quite a while of running around, we encountered Zach Nathan, stopped him from doing what he set out to do, stopped him from doing much of anything else from this point.
I see. And the body?
We
tower.
didn't do anything about it, did we?
No.
Did you lay?
Wait. What
Well,
body
we
were
brought
we
it
carrying,
back.
Haza?
Yeah.
I think we were carrying a body.
Yeah, we were carrying his head at least.
Well,
Was
yeah.
it
Then
like in the
that
boat?
begs the question: what have we been doing with this body?
Yeah.
I thought we did decapitate him.
I think
No,
someone said
the
that was
two of
more
them-
grisly.
Yeah, the two of them definitely carried it out because there was the
Right, I had a point of exhaustion from it.
Yep.
Exactly.
Huh.
So we sawed the head off and dumped the body in the channel
In the drink.
in the river.
Is that what you tell her?
I mean, what I'll
I
probably
think
say
we
is
need to decide what we did because we
Right,
forgot that
we
we had
first-
a body at the
right.
beginning of this session.
Exactly.
well, since we haven't been carrying the body around, we probably sawed something off, and it was
Okay,
gruesome
who's got the
horrible.
head?
That would probably be me, since I
Yeah,
feel
Mel's
like I
got-
have a bag of
Mel
holding.
can
Do
fill
I?
it with incense or something.
I don't know. Do you have a bag? Why would you have a bag of holding?
No, I didn't get one of
You
those.
got incense. You could just
I do have
fill it
incense.
full
I
of.
don't think that would fix it.
You can
It wouldn't
embalm
fix
it a
it.
little.
I feel like I do also have gentle repose. No, I don't.
Probably, maybe. You could prepare it today.
Nope. Do have speak with dead though.
I mean, could we just say that we have hidden it in a cove near the beach or something? That way we didn't
Yeah,
have to
that's
carry it
fine.
through town.
That's much more reasonable. As like we've dropped the body off. We also can attest we have like his spell book and his attire.
Yeah,
Having
if you
his spell
choose.
book is pretty.
Yeah, if you choose to produce his spell book,
Yeah, I'll pull it out.
she extends her hand to inspect it.
I'll hand it over.
All right. She does so. Then looks up at you. While the book is still in her hands, and says, "Some of these are very powerful."
Indeed, I am not of an ability that I can use the more powerful ones. I am partially through transcribing a second level spell. I would like to at least be able to complete that. I did not understand that y'all controlled access to spellcraft as well. Thought it was just magic items. I guess.
Control is not the word we use. Concern ourselves with is certainly a deeply ingrained aspect of our code.
I would be happy to tell you I have no interest whatsoever in learning the most powerful spell in that book.
Would you mind then? And she puts her hand on the page as if to tear it.
Go ahead.
She does so, and then the page melts in blue fire between her fingers. And then she hands you the book back.
Thank you.
You seem an honest one.
Thank you.
Is that portion of the job to your satisfaction then?
The eradication of the individual most in interest in acquiring this artifact is certainly the leg up that we could certainly make use of.
Could I
I
ask
will.
you to tell me again what it is you want to do with the heart should you be in possession of it?
It is in my interest, and I believe the city's best interest, and within my own facility's interest, to have it destroyed as soon as possible. If you
Indeed.
were unable to attain it yourselves, then I should not feel obligated to provide you the full reward that we had spoken of, but that money could be elsewise used in our own company in acquiring it on our own to destroy it.
I will place the sending stone on the desk that she loaned and say, then you know what? Plain speaking is probably the best approach here. We acquired the heart, and we are holding it safely before, well, we wanted to discern your intentions. At least two of our numbers are very interested in destroying this thing and seeing it freed
Would you
is the
be
incorrect word, but freed from its current state
amenable
properly.
to uh, our friend who is not here presently being uh, in possession of the item until its point of destruction and present for the ritual which destroys it? It is a relic of utmost importance to his faith, and I can assure you he has no intention of doing anything but destroying it. But he, among others of us, fear that power-hungry mortals might wish to do something else with it, which I believe is a fear you can understand.
Her brow creases in what can be interpreted as offense at first, and then smooths as she listens and says, "It would be in everyone's best interest if this artifact were turned over to my bureau, and we can dispose of it. Those who have the most interest in ensuring such are welcome as part of the ritual to witness. We are in the absolute interest of ensuring the safety of these people. That said, it should also be noted that provided anyone should witness, it should be behind a barrier that should prevent any interference with any ritual."
Understandable.
Do
Oh, man, I'm actually
Do
really
I-
excited.
do I trust that she's telling the truth about wanting to destroy this thing?
Why don't you roll me an insight check?
I do the same.
Well, that's
Everybody sound off.
Mel's excited for being there for a destruction of a lich phylactery to examine her intentions.
I think Hyacinth just takes her at her word.
Oz and Inks do not have confidence in her tone, like as far as like her honesty, but you don't detect dishonesty. Haza, you know of her sincerity.
I will nod and reach an arm out and say, "So we can take you at your word?"
Of course, and she stands to grasp your arm.
Yeah, I'll turn back and I was like, "I think she is being forthright, and I know that you may have reason to have taken offense to the way we conducted things here, but we are a little bit necessarily on edge from our time in the tower. It was not a good place or a pleasant one."
I believe
Understood.
the nature of mistrust is what your organization is formed around, as far as I can tell. So, I don't.
This is true. However, within there, we may only work with those who we can prove that we can trust.
Mhm. I definitely understand that. I hope you understand that that has not been proven to us yet.
Naturally.
Also, for context, I think the gravity of the situation calls for little. Oh God, what's the word I'm thinking of?
A lack of blind faith.
Thank you.
It
Would
is
you
not. It is not. It does not escape me that this is a delicate situation. And when Lauxius presented to me your particular number, knowing as little of you as I did, but being able to understand some of you at your own face values, uh, her eyes pass over each of you, and you can kind of feel the intensity of her age and her experience as she inspects each of you. I understand that this was a delicate situation, and my trust in strangers was also not delicately placed. It also appears to be accurately placed. If you would like, you may invite your friend this way. We will guide him into the facility and we can prepare to undo this curse.
would it be okay if we sent one of our number to meet him? He has a close
Midge,
relationship with Mel here, and I believe that would go a long way to assuaging his fears.
understood.
Ah.
Midge pops their head back in the door. I'll take you.
Do
All
we know
right.
for certainty where he was? Because he said where I rested last night, but then actually went to Dallas Corner.
Yeah, I'm.
Well, he did get Haze's key, so.
I did not. I got
Oh,
my
you did
own
not.
room.
No, I'm sending a bird
Okay.
saying meet in the center of the market. Mel is coming to him.
Okay.
I'll mark one down.
All right.
Yeah, I kind of planned for that.
Thank you, Cody. I sure didn't.
It occurred to me. I was like, he is goosing us, and that's fine. But we do have these fucking birds, so
Goosing you.
Totally
I was
fine.
goosing Midge, for the record.
which yeah,
Yeah,
true.
without
The best way to
letting
goose
any of
Midge is to
in
goose
on
us.
it.
Ah!
Can't give away what we don't know.
Getting goosed.
All right.
So yeah, the message just says meet Mel in the center of the market, basically, which is near Dallas Corner. It's just
Yeah.
the most public place.
Yeah.
Is Mel just following the bird?
Midge is
Midge.
following Midge. Mel is following Midge.
Oh boy.
All right. I'm assuming you go out to the market, though.
Can I see the market from my spot in Dallas Corner?
I'm gonna roll a d4 and see if you're on a wall that
The
would
correct side.
provide you a front window. No.
Couldn't you just move to a
Yeah, you're gonna have to go
Wanted to
ask for a
message.
room. That's
just sit outside in the front room?
Yeah, I will go out into the market.
Okay. You get a friendly wave from Nick as you pass. As Knack barkers out advertisements for their latest supply.
He speaks.
What?
He speaks.
No, Nick is the silent one.
Oh, I thought it was the other way. Never mind. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
me too. Oh
Yeah.
well.
Nick is silent. Mr. Knackery is unsilenceable. Thank you. That song ruined me, by the way.
What's that later?
uh, um,
Anyway,
yes.
yeah,
and
I will meet Mel
Midge and
out in
Mel.
the. Yeah, Torque is very clearly not happy to see Midge.
Midge does not
Mel.
notice.
Midge, wait here. I need to speak to Mel.
Okay.
I will go back into my room. I will go back into Talith's corner.
Okay.
I need a favor, Mel.
What's that?
I will pick up one of my pistols and I will load it and hand it to Mel. I'm gonna talk to Muldrum before we do this. If I look like I'm not me, you know what to do. I mean, I hate to undo all your hard work, so I will do everything I can not to be that way, but I'm gonna do this.
Oh boy. she just takes the pistol and is like, yeah, these are gonna be some papers to file, and just has it in her hand, and the the mace in the other.
Sorry, that mental image is so good. Yeah, then I will set the box down. I will flip it open. I will very carefully. I think the letter got put back in. Oz,
makes
correct me if
sense.
I'm wrong.
Yeah, I believe the letter's back in there.
I will pass that over to Mel.
Yeah, and as the
This-
box opens and he's about to touch it, she just puts the pistol to his head.
Here, hold this. You can read it if you want.
It's in Sylvan, I think.
Yeah, read that shit.
Right. I'll just set that in the lid then. And I will pick up the heart.
All right, make me a spellcasting check with proficiency.
That is an int save, I believe we did last time.
Yes.
Having this is a spell. Okay, yeah. I'll do it anyway. Since I have this worthless spell and he knows vaguely what he's going into, I will cast resistance on myself.
All
and then
right.
pick up the heart.
Oh,
And-
fucking right.
This isn't an actual save, so it doesn't help, but just in case.
Functionally, it is a save. I only listed it that way to ensure whoever was going to touch it would use the wrong feature. Does that make sense? Or use the right stat. Does that make sense?
Okay.
It is in fact a save. Yes, it's not contested.
Okay. Then he whispers a prayer to all the dragon gods and prays that he's able to deliver their child, and we'll see how this goes.
Holy hell,
I
man!
am
Well-
going to go ahead and just in case spend an inspiration.
All right,
to
and
reroll
it
that
keeps the
D20.
4.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
just gonna roll. Well, it's D20 plus 5. I'll tell you what, I'll turn resistance off and reroll intelligence. Oh, that's actually worse. All right,
Oh,
I'll
God.
stick with the 18.
Oh God. Okay, hold on. I gotta pull her sheet back up.
Oh boy.
Whoops.
I have
Okay.
more inspiration. Like I do have. I'll spend just in case.
Okay.
Just
Okay.
in case. Just in
Okay.
case.
Okay.
Okay, still not doing better than a 14. Right. I forgot I'm rolling d20s, and the highest on there was a
Then
9.
not
That's my
D12.
highest for the night, by the
I
way.
know.
It's a
Maybe
9.
Maybe roll a D12. Just get it out of your system.
I think. Never mind.
No, we're good. 18.
you feel a roar begin to climb up your fingers through your nerves and tickling and picking at your brainstem and then firing over the entirety of the inside of your skull. And Mel, you see like his mouth open and like the creases of his eyes begin to deepen, and from his seams he begins to leak a very faint purple smoke. Um and what do you say, Torek?
Can you hear me now, Moldrum? You couldn't hear me when I was touching it, but just touching it, but now I've picked it up. I am an emissary of the dragon gods. I have come to get your story.
Please. If you hold any allegiance, let me out.
You know what you have become. I don't know what the draconic word for
Carcass
Dracolich is.
of the being I once was. There is nothing but resentment for the monsters that have taken everything from me. And I want nothing more than to rend what remains of their bodies and devour the shreds of their humanity. They
Can you
have
show them to me?
taken my heart and my soul and my love. You cannot let this abide.
They will face justice. Can you show them to me? And then we can release you.
You are inundated with the sensory experience, almost sightless, um, of the figures of the Brotherhood that bound her. 6 members in total. You would recognize them by smell and by sound, but you could never place them by face.
We will return you to Asgaroth. We will free you. And you will know rest that they never will get.
You then do see something that is accompanied by the sweet scent of flowers and a turquoise surf, um, and the image of a beautiful elven woman who has deep green blue skin and and long unbound dark hair, um, and you hear the sound of her laugh, and then the overwhelming sadness. Mel, you see tears just fall from ducts at Toric's eyes.
Is he still all smoky?
It is fading as the conversation ends, and the bright purple light of the stone heart in his hand dims and darkens. It's not extinguished, but
What's your name? You get 3 seconds.
Sylvie. Mel, I'm Toric.
She sort of eyes him up and down. So, what did you learn? Still holding the gun to his head.
He will very, very gingerly set the heart back into its case, pick up the letter, and tuck it into his jacket, and close the lid. I learned enough. She didn't choose this.
Well, if that's good enough for you.
I doubt this will ever be anything approaching good, but it's enough for me to follow Midge back to the bureau. What were the I'll find out when I get there.
The short of it is
You can get the gun off my head now, please. If you don't mind handing that back to me. You have I'm gonna have to train you because you should not have your finger on the trigger till you're ready to fire.
I
that's
was
trigger
ready to
discipline.
fire, Toric.
I'm so proud of you, but I'd still like my gun back, please.
she smiles and hands him back the gun. Well, good news is we will be present for its destruction, and they promised to do so, and the lady wasn't that shady. As unshady as she could be.
Yeah. That remains to be seen.
It's good enough, trust me.
Yeah. It'll have to do for now.
All right.
I will pick up the box. Head back out. Sorry for the wait, Midge.
that's fine. I just assumed there was. Anyway, and they just turn and start walking back towards the bureau. All right. So you guys meet back up after what is truly kind of an uncomfortable amount of time, either sitting in Viren's office or in a crystalline lobby somewhere, watching other members of the bureau about their business.
Yeah.
But yeah, you are all together with the heart. Toric, do you present it to the Arcanist?
Where does this need to go?
I can take it.
Mm-hmm. That is true, but I owe it to her to. I owe it to her. To Muldrum. point me at the pedestal. Whatever you're doing.
Viren begins leading you in the direction that you think is back towards her office, but where her office was is now a separate chamber, circular. But as you enter it, you see that each wall is tiny, faceted bends of a flat surface to make a circle, with a pedestal in its center and several other mages who appear to be in preparation, brushing up on some literature before they begin, and and preparing. She indicates the pedestal to you.
I will set it there, and I will back out of the circle.
All right. You don't mind. To ensure the safety and the completion of the ritual, we ask that you stand just this way. And she points behind you, and you can see that one of the walls has opened itself to reveal like a bend around the room to like another chamber with a clear surface through it so you can see.
Am I in danger if I'm here? Sorry, she didn't choose this, so I am protective.
Understood. She kneels down to you to sort of inspect you a little bit, and then says in Draconic to you, I do not know what power you wield. Should you be able to undo any part of our ritual during its enactment, it will fail utterly.
I can swear to you on all my gods that I will do nothing to disrupt the ritual. Although if you think my presence here will cause disruption, I will do as you say.
Take you on your word. And she stands up.
I'll back all the way against the wall just to be out of the way.
Yeah, Mel takes out her journal and a quill and like sits right against the wall next to Oryx, like knelt down.
Oric.
Toric, Jesus Christ! They have
It's
the
gonna be a
last.
long time.
They
I
have
should
the
have.
last sound.
That's on me. I really, but it's an actual word, so. So
They
is
both
Oric's.
were.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go.
You see each of these arcanists begin to speak in their own language, and so you hear this amalgamate of Draconic and Elvish, Dwarvish and Gnomish being slurred together in a rhythmic tone, as the inherent white light of the crystals in this building begin to darken such and consolidate into the pillar at the center till it is nearly blindingly white and funneled into this box. The box bursts into flame and is quickly ashen and curling on the remnants of the interior of the lining of the box. This crystalline stone looks cold and black, and then through each valve of the heart begins to pour out a light purple smoke that contains its own sparkling light that crawls its way and curls into the air and forms the shape of claws grasping at the pillar to pull itself out, and then following the head and toothy maw of an elegant, gleaming, glittering, jeweled dragon whose wings slowly unfurl and blacken and as only the skeletal remains of it linger in the air, shatter infinitesimally into dust, and as her jaw parts for a breathy sound of something deep and forlorn, the light within her expels and then swallows her, and the form dissipates, and the heart is like black glass on the pillar, and the light melts from the pedestal back into the floor and then walls of the room, and the chanting ends, and the object is left there at the table.
Is the High Arcanist here?
Yes, she was participating. Do you say anything, or?
I will gesture to the heart, and just, if there's no magic or danger, may I?
Of course. She picks it up rather carefully, but without concern, and hands it to you. It's a shame whatever vessel was the owner of this before it was turned, changed. Sounds as if many people had lost their lives in the making of this artifact.
And a few more yet to come, I think. Thank you for releasing her from an age-old torment.
She bows her head.
My friends are down that way you showed me.
I will lead you. And she takes you and everyone else who may have been watching and gathers you all.
Hold on one second. I stop her and say, if the heart is inert, shouldn't you also destroy the vessel just to be safe? Or at least test to see that it can be destroyed?
The vessel could be destroyed. It only is entirely inert now. There should be no other creature that should be able to use that object as a phylactery.
Why not
That-
test it?
It was a heart that was given, it would appear. It cannot be changed. Each
I would cast
phylactery
it
is
like
a
magic, but I have
each phylactery is a unique vessel to its own lich. Should anyone else attempt to use this, it would be ineffective. Midge should be here presently with your reward. Thank you for your diligence and, frankly, your swiftness. And we would look to seeing you all as allies in the future, should it be that our paths cross again. Midge does eventually come tottering out with a very heavy box. We were out of dollies, sorry, and just drops it on the floor with a heavy thud.
Thanks. I will try to pick it up, although I'm 2 feet tall.
It's 1,000 pieces of platinum.
Need some help there?
Yeah, I'll get this side. You're gonna have to bend way down, though. I'll lift as high as I can.
How about I just lift from the top and you lift from the bottom?
How much would you say that weighs? And I'll cast Tensor's loading disc.
That'll work.
Less than
Yeah.
500 pounds. She drops it on
Fucking better.
Tensor's loading disc.
It's 1,000 coins. Drop a 0, divide. I can't do math all of a sudden. It's 50 coins to a pound. 1,000 coins. Drop a 0, divide by 5. So it's about 20 pounds. Plus
Yeah,
the weight of the chest.
I was gonna say, if Midge could carry it without a dolly, it better
I
be
mean,
lower than
Midge was
500 pounds.
Like swinging it
Because-
between her legs.
I'm physically strong enough to pick it up. I am 2 feet tall, so this chest is probably
Bit
fairly
awkward.
sizable.
Hard to get your arms all the way around.
All right. You've got your money. You've got your concert tickets.
I think Haza opens up the chest just to look, and her composure breaks for the first time since they've been in here. Just like open mouth gaping, like, oh.
All right.
Yeah, that's a lot of money.
Yeah. It's real heavy. Let's well,
How
I
many
mean,
per?
I'm not doing that math right now, Mel. Let's get out of here.
It
I
feels
think
like we
we
should
all want to
whisper
be out of
around
here.
it.
Yeah.
All
Yeah,
right.
yeah, sure.
Where-
Can you close that? It's making the chest real awkward.
Yeah, sorry.
Tensor's
Okay.
floating disc is summoned. Toric is placed on top of the disc with the chest. And-
No, I will set the chest on the thing and then
Okay. And where do you go?
I can't believe I'm gonna say this, but don't you have a bill to pay at Dallas Corner?
Fuck yes, I do.
Oh, boy.
This will help. I haven't really been keeping
You could
track. I don't think he's been
probably-
keeping track either.
Buy that place for this much money.
Well,
Let's just
yeah, how do we even split this much money?
into
About
piles.
1,666 per, with some spare.
I mean, we probably don't want to do that here. Let's just forgot what else I was going to say.
Is Nick and Nax on the way back?
Yeah, baby.
I'd like to stop in and see if they have
Yeah.
a bag of holding.
Ditto.
Let's do
Their
Nick and Knack
list is up.
shit. Now that we're flush.
Nicholas and Nacri's chicanery and bedevilments is in the handout list.
Yes, it is. Yes, it
Ooh.
is. Hello, travelers. Welcome back, all of you. I recognize each of you. And what brings you? Ooh, what's that? And he points at the disc with the treasure chest.
A very large amount of money.
That's not getting
Ooh.
any weird looks coming through the street.
Yeah.
Well, I do happen to have a very large amount of odds and ends that can be exchanged for money. But it does not
No
look
bag of
like a
holding.
bag of
Huh.
holding is on the list today.
So wait, what was the cuts?
1,666 and then 0.6 of that.
We could do 1,600 each and put the remainder into a group share if we wanted
Yeah.
for gems and potions and such.
100.
Who's
Also,
gonna be-
some
who's gonna be
mention
party
about
loot
possibly giving
keeper?
Maverick, Macvic some money.
So that'd be 400 plat in group loot. So
Yeah, and 1,600 for each of us.
we are at 9669 gold if we haven't spent any. Or platinum, I mean. Holy shit, that's a lot of fucking money.
Wait, that number
I'm at
is just the party loot.
1669.
The
It should be 16.
it's
Oh.
1,600 each because what you said 400?
or sorry, yes.
So
I
400 is going
flat.
into.
I just chose. I
1600
said
each.
1600 because it's a nice even
It
round
is.
number.
Mm.
Not bad.
1669 is what we got if we haven't spent any money.
Right, and
That
that's
isn't gold.
okay.
It's in plat,
It's
right?
flat.
this
Jesus
is all
Right,
fucking
flat.
Christ.
so it's 160
160
platinum apiece
Yes.
is what we're talking about.
Yes.
No, it is. Yes, I can do math.
160 platinum each of us, and then the party
Yep.
loot has 1669 gold.
Fair enough.
No, I think.
No,
I,
no,
I
no.
think
Hold on. Sorry.
Yeah.
it's a confusion of the 1600 is in gold, not platinum. So
Right,
it's
right.
160 platinum.
160 plat. Okay, so that would mean two. Okay, sorry. So two.
I think
All
it
right,
should be if you haven't spent any
229.
money, it should be 229 platinum.
Yeah. Woof!
Yeah.
I did the math
I have spent
in my head.
I guess we could shop around for a bag.
Yeah, we can shop around.
I'm sorry. What was that?
When will you have a bag in stock?
Well, we could certainly look around for a bag for you. I can't
Yeah,
believe
I
you
feel
would try
like-
to bring your business anywhere else in this vast city of
I'll
merchants.
pull down my collar to show the fuck the BMM shirt. Like, no, we're still good. We're still
Oh,
good.
darling, darling. Mwah, love you.
The gift that keeps on giving.
So do you got a bag somewhere back there, or if not, can you let us know when?
Nick, darling, what do you think? Nick jumps into the caravan and you
Of
hear
holding specifically.
Yeah,
Smell those chefs behind
Big-
him.
yes, yes,
bag.
of holding, yes.
Uh-huh.
Well, they just
and
did bags, so I don't think you get your bedevilments from nowhere, if you catch my meaning. She smiles at them.
I take great pride in my bedevilments, thank you.
Yes, they're recognizable.
Well, for the speed at which my dear has to go and put in the hours for, we could probably have one stitched together for you. I'm assuming you don't want one that just makes things disappear into the astral plane, correct?
Yeah, no.
All right, well, that's going to make
Yeah.
it a little harder. That'll be added to the tally. He pulls out a notepad and begins scribbling down numbers. Let's see. And we should obviously be including premium levers. You wouldn't want it to tear on you. If it tears, then everything just goes everywhere, right? Let's see. We could probably get you one tomorrow morning by what do you think? What do you think, Nick? Yes. I think 9 a.m. should be a perfect amount of time. We can take shifts and work all night. And get one to you for 3,000 gold.
But we just wait for them to get one in.
I look to Oz. I don't know what the normal
Yeah, we'll
price
come
is.
back.
Fine.
Mercury?
He tears off a piece of. Yes.
I put 5 gold on the counter. How about if you send me one of those birds when you get one in?
Deal. He'll take your 5 gold.
If I could, this scroll of alarm, I'll count out 132 gold. And could you remind me the markup on your bell writing equipment, papers and inks and such?
10% as per the cost of the rest of the affiliate paperwork.
Correct. Give me a moment to do some math, and I'll be right back with you.
10% is quite the deal. He says it to another passerby. Most places charge upwards of 20.
Do, 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 do. Sorry, I'll be just a moment.
Unrelated and not required of RP, but I'm just gonna buy a bunch of darts.
All right.
It worked out really well for me last time, so we're gonna stick with that.
Nice.
Literally like bandolier of darts.
Yeah.
Nick sticks his head back out and has a tape measure around his neck, and some strips of leather that he's palette matching with Mel's clothes. Before Nakari puts a hand on his shoulder and says, "They've changed their mind, dear." And he looks so disappointed and just walks back, shoulders slumped and head hanging back into the caravan.
Oh no! You can't make me feel bad. Violet feels horrible, and Mel is upset that she won't get a perfectly color-matched goddamn bag of holding.
You're welcome to pay for it.
Custom made.
3,000 gold is 30% of what we just earned.
Nah, that's a big percentage. Plus the 10% thing. Yeah, it's a lot in my price range. Although I don't know what else I'm gonna spend it on.
I'll go
Yeah.
ahead and
Oh,
on top of
diamonds.
the-
Right. Diamonds.
The 132 for the scroll of alarm, I'll give 550 for 500 worth of spell component material stuff.
Okay.
Oh yeah, if they sell components, sell spell components.
Mhm.
I'm going to get 100 GP of powdered silver for ceremony, and no, I got my diamond dust covered for revivify. Random revive.
As I recall, we have a diamond. Unless you have diamond dust from somewhere else, it is a diamond, and it is like a 500 gold piece diamond instead of
Yeah.
the 300 for Revivify.
I could grind it up. Right? Or
You
get someone
you
to.
could.
I
Yeah,
couldn't.
yeah.
Yeah.
It would require jeweler's tools, and you would lose diamond to do so. You could chop it up into 100 gold pieces of 5 100 units, but you can't you can't use diamond dust for revivify. Revivify
Right.
requires a diamond.
Diamonds.
I have a stupid request.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if it's necessarily stupid or if it's possible, but I am looking for some custom stuff. So I have
Nick's
these.
head pops out horizontally out of the caravan.
I have these, and she'll brandish her brass knuckles. But I'm wondering, is there a way we can not transfer them, but make something that'll fit on my boots that are similar?
Are you suggesting boots of kicking?
Mm, I'd like to think it's more boots of piercing.
Ooh, stilettos.
Um, and I've also heard of magical items that can sometimes tell you when danger is near. Could we add that on top of it?
Well, we do have a crossbow, a very small, light crossbow of warning available currently. It might be a bit out of your price range based on what I've heard so far. But the boot dagger seems like something we might be able to put together. Nakari
Mm.
produces from his coat a knife, and Nicholas like kicks up his foot onto the counter and pries his boot off, and then like starts measuring the dagger against like the sole of the boot. Come back in the morning.
Perfect. Oh, and if we can't get the warning aspect or attached, I'm still fine with the boots of piercing.
Very well. The alarm system set onto really any sort of magical item, that is a steep price usually.
It would seem so.
But I could stick a knife onto your shoe for 10 gold. Nicholas kind of like knocks the back of his hand against his arm, like trying to get his attention.
Mm.
Sorry, he can stick a knife to your boot.
Oh my god. Trying not to sound like Panrin, but can we make it one that pops out?
That's exactly what I thought you were asking me for, so that's
No,
what
I
I
was
was
thinking, like-
making for you.
No, I was thinking like brass knuckles on top of like the foot of the shoe, like where the toes go.
Like steel toe shoes?
Yeah, except they point out, they jut out and like look super badass.
Like they're
Like spiked,
Like spiked toes,
like
basically.
Demonetta giant fucking. Okay,
Yeah,
I'm with you.
yeah. Okay, okay, so not the surprise dagger, because that's too Panrin. Instead, the spiky boots,
Very well.
which will now be called boots of piercing.
Yeah, he'll have ready for you in the morning some just like hardy fucking steel toe boots that will like, because you're a monk, do like nothing more than your regular monk stuff, you know?
Which is why it makes this request stupid.
Okay. I mean, I love it, but I wanted to make sure that I was understanding the request, which is that you
Yeah.
just wanted a kick-ass fashion item instead of like an actual useful thing.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, I love that. Thank you.
When it comes to monk fighting, it's going to open up some more opportunities for me, flavor-wise.
Yeah. Awesome. All right. Anyone else? Okay. Anything else for tonight?
no.
Delivering the money to what's his face, but I don't know if anybody's
Oh yeah,
the RP guy.
probably getting a bag of holding so we can fit all of our money.
Macfic, thank you.
I'm going to give 20 plat to Mr. Sachs.
Just every time you're
Okay.
in there.
Haza,
Oh god.
Haza.
Whoops.
This place is 5 silver a night. Okay,
Uh-huh.
5 silver a night. There are 2 of those for 2 nights. For 1 gold piece, you can stay there for 2 nights. How long have you lived here?
It's been
Fine.
a while.
10 plat.
No. He puts his hand on top of it. You can keep your room, and I keep this 20 plat.
I know I'm overpaying for this, but I'm not paying for the room. I'm paying for the kindness that you.
Yeah, and
Did
also
and
so
have
I
done?
won't give your room up to someone else. Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll just put the 20 plat down.
He takes that. And Inks can bring that a little bit to Macfix so he can like go buy clothes, I guess, and supply food probably.
How much would a bag of holding be not at Nick and Nax chicanery and bedevilment?
Well, I mean, okay, so now I got to pull up my magic items thing. The bag itself would be 2,500. And then I've got to pull up my thing about permits.
The fuck are you gonna do with the bag? Oh well, I don't know. I've
Yeah.
seen a lot of people theory craft
Sort
some
of,
wild stuff.
Yeah, kind of a thermonuke. You can just sort of red matter bomb. You can set off and then run away.
Oh my god. So as it turns out, with a permit costs 1/3 of the cost of the magic item. Luskin permits cost 1/4. Okay, let's see. Well, that makes it easier. It's actually cheaper to get it from Nick and Nack.
Yeah, I'll go back and just be like, I'm sorry.
Second thoughts.
Yes,
Do we have the best value in town?
Not only that, but very mindful craftsmanship. So yes,
See, this is the sort of thing we take our pride in, and this is why we are perfectly legitimate businessmen.
She just keeps smiling at him. And how much does it come out to?
It's 3,000.
3,000. So that's 300. How much does that implant?
300.
Fuck, I'm short. God damn it! No.
You need some cash, Mel.
Yeah, just 100 plant. She says sheepishly.
Oh,
Yeah.
There you go.
What? Torek.
I don't need it right now.
Fine by me. All right. I have 19 platinum left. Yeah, baby. I guess we do also have all that
Wrong
group
channel,
loot.
Max.
Oh shit. It's fine. It's fine, you all saw it.
Thanks for letting me do that, Mel. I know not everyone would have, but I got the answers I needed.
I'm glad you did. We should probably talk a little bit more about that.
Anytime, open book, all that jazz.
She just nods. Thank you. That's generous, by the way. You can keep any of your shit in here anytime.
Okay.
He starts eyeing the miner's pick and the shovel and the crowbar.
Clunk, clunk, clunk.
I carry all this. Thanks, though.
Anything else we need to cover tonight?
don't think so.
All right. Sounds like next session. You guys got a concert to go to.
Woo!
And we'll call it there for tonight.